It's Friday. We got a lot to talk about because a lot has happened between the last time we seen you guys, our great episode yesterday, and right now. So we gonna get into all of that. It was a big trade or sign and trade and a signing, if you will. It's been some good summer league performances, and we will evaluate some of the top draft prospects so far based on what we've seen. Then we got a couple other good things to get into as well. You guys see who I'm with. I got the good brother Mars with me. I got the illustrious Chilltown with me. And I got none other than Penn right here under me as well. How you guys feeling today?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I feel good, man.
Yeah, I'm wonderful. Shout out to Chill, Swiper, and Ron for holding it down yesterday. I seen you guys was talking about that was it ESPN list of the best athletes?
Top 100 of the century.
Yeah. Messi robbed, by the way, but that's besides the point.
Robbed out.
Was a number one, but it's cool.
He should have been number one.
I should have been at the top of the list.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Top of the list. Wow.
Penn, were you able to see this list?
What list?
If you don't know what list, don't even worry about it.
ESPN did their top 100 athletes of the 21st century.
I saw y'all were reacting to it. I think, what was Jokic 30 or something like that? 29?
He was below Kevin Garnett. I know that. I can't remember where he was.
I caught a bit of it. I got a bit of it.
Messi was robbed. That's all I know. Yeah, KG was at 23 and Jokic was below him at 28. That's what I remember seeing on Twitter.
Yo, all these lists are just clickbait, man.
That's for sure.
It's outrage. Because if the list makes sense, you're not going to talk about it.
That's why when we do our list, we make sure we have Ox around so we can put Josh Hart above Shea. Content creation. I understand.
What do you know?
See, I understand. I understand the business we're in.
Now this. All right, fellas. Let's go ahead and get into it. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm assuming Swiper will be pulling up very soon to talk about his Nuggets. But for those who don't know, Russell Westbrook was traded to the Utah Jazz. They then proceeded to waive him. And then he signed with the Denver Nuggets. Fellas, talk to me about Russell Westbrook to the Denver Nuggets. I know this has been something that we've been projecting is going to happen, but now it has actually happened. It is a reality. Russell Westbrook, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, big three.
Don't go there.
Big
Don't
2.5.
Don't do this.
He's a role player, Ron. He's not a big anything. He's there to fill in where they need him. Then he's Aaron Gordon and MPJ would be more of a big three than Russ. He's there to complement what they already have. They need a backup guard. He's the Reggie Jackson replacement. He's going to bring energy to the second unit, defensive intensity, pushing the pace in transition. I would say a good cutter, but his cutting is better theoretically than it is in reality, just in terms of how bad his hands are and stuff like that. But still capable. Yeah, I mean, for the price, I mean, he's cool. I don't think this is what makes Denver the title favorites. But it's about time they signed anyone other than Dario Saric. So I guess I give him credit for that.
I would have preferred they go somewhere else, man. Honestly, like I like Russell Westbrook as a player. Now, you know, me saying I like him means I'm about to rip him like right now. But
1,000%.
All right, we know. So look, I mean, you could like a guy, but you can also acknowledge fit, right? I don't think he fits with the Denver Nuggets. You got Aaron Gordon, right? That's a non-shooter right there. That's a guy that people already don't respect, right? Now, people don't want to talk about this, but Nikola Jokic also took a bit of a dip last year as a shooter. So, especially in the playoffs. So, maybe that's a little bit of negative spacing now for you as well. If teams are able to back off of him because he's not draining it like he was 2 years ago, now you got that, right? So now you got two guys, and you're going to add Russell Westbrook into that mix, and you have Peyton Watson, who's a non-shooter. So that's to me is tough, right? Russell Westbrook's still a positive player in theory. The theory of Russ is positive, right? He's not like washed, right? but he can't shoot. And again, which Russell Westbrook are you getting? Are you getting the Russell Westbrook who's going to do his best Bruce Brown impression?
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. That would be fantastic. He's athletic. He's a very smart player. But are we getting the Russell Westbrook, who wants to be a really big part of a championship core? Now I have problems because he doesn't fit so well.
So two things. One, the Joker taking a dip in his shooting, that's smoke and mirrors. That was preparation more than anything. I've heard countless times where Coach Malone talked about how they weren't prepared for what other teams were how other teams were coming at them. And I think that was a large reason why Joker's shooting performance took a dip last year, not because he can't shoot anymore, because I 100% believe that this season he'll be right back to where he was because they'll be more prepared because they already saw what it was last season. That's number one. Number two, Russell Westbrook as a rotation guard. Does Russ have to? Russ has never been a knockdown shooter, but as a rotation guard, when you put guys like Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot, when you put guys like Aaron Gordon on the wing, who showed that when you leave him open, he will knock down shots. And Russ has always been good. Russ has always been good at creating shots for other guys. Yeah, he can be somewhat of a turnover machine from time to time, but he's always been good at creating shots for other guys. And if you're going to leave guys like Aaron Gordon open, Russ is going to get these guys the ball in spaces where they can knock down shots, whether it's on the wing, whether it's in the dunker spot. Add that to the fact that you got guys like Michael Porter Jr., who is also a huge problem. And I think Russ can create shots for him. I think Russ is a great addition to them as a rotation guard. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to make this more than what it actually is. Like taking the ball out of Jamal Murray's hands and putting it in Russ's hands. Let's chill out on that. Okay, let's relax on that right there. But I think Russ will be a really good addition to them as a rotation guard. 100% I do.
Has he ever shown you that he can play without the basketball? Has he shown you that he has that in his game?
I don't think he has to. And the reason why he doesn't have to is because he's going to be a rotation guard. That's the difference. And
no, he could be a rotation guard.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But okay, so Russ, you're being very kind saying he's not a knockdown shooter. He's a non-shooter. As far as I'm concerned, as far as your spacing is concerned, teams treat him like a non-shooter. They'll back off.
He's a willing shooter.
Those two things, yes, he is.
That's not necessarily a compliment, but I understand that it would be even worse if he wasn't willing to shoot. I understand that. So he's a willing shooter, but teams are respecting him like he's a non-shooter. So the goal here is you have players who are better creators than him because of their scoring acumen, like Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, right? Now you're saying Jokic is, the shooting or whatever. Jokic has never been a high volume 3-point shooter. He's never been a high volume 3-point shooter, right? So he's been like hovering around league average for the last 4 years, give or take, because he took that jump. But last year was a setback. Now you say Coach Malone said this and that about his shooting and teams weren't prepared. Shooting is a perishable skill. Guys do dip over their career. They rise. It depends on how many reps you're putting in.
Not in your prime, though. It's difficult to dip in your shooting when you're in your prime. That's
we difficult. Just talked about PJ Washington literally like the other day. And he is a guy who has dipped from being a guy who was considered a shooter to a guy who is now being left open a lot. So I'm just saying, bigs do have, again, I think you can point to a lot of examples in NBA history where a guy shoots 40% and then he's shooting 32% the next year. It's a very different equation in terms of how I'm going to guard that. So I'm just saying, if Russell Westbrook can be a cutter, again, what Mar said, in theory, he's a great cutter. He's a good athlete. He's still a good athlete, right? But that one thing where not being able to shoot and also maybe not having the best off-ball skills can make him a tough fit. But he's a good creator. He can push in transition, and he's a good rebounder. He's above average rebounder for his size. So it's not a bad addition. It's a fine addition if he agrees to be the 9th, 10th guy. Swipe is just
I'm not going that far.
Not happy?
Swiper, you got that good old birthday hangover?
Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, man, man, appreciate it, bro. This internet, man, just crazy, bro. It's just doing too much. Hey, first off, hello, Bars.
My man is trying to work, and the internet is not cooperating. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, bro. Like it's just a bunch of things happening. I wasn't shaking my head at you. I'm just trying to get all this stuff popping off. Bro.
Swipe has been an overload of people hitting you up in light of this whole.
I will say I do have a lot of friends, but again, I'm blessed. I know that everybody's that fortunate, so I have been around, I've traveled a lot, so I do have a lot of people in my life. But again, that's by the grace of God. So no braggadocious thing, anything. But yeah, it was great. It was a cool day yesterday. Went to dinner. Mars. Went out to this little social club spot, non-alcoholic social club. Actually, it was pretty fun. It was like a cool little spot. Had a Moscow Mule, no alcohol, obviously in it. Had ginger beer and stuff in it. So you already know I was locked in there, chill. Tonight, going to the Braves game. You feel me?
Do we turn up a little bit more tonight?
Then you know what I mean. Gonna go out like you know, a little, you know what I mean.
Turn the
And
volume
then
up a little bit more.
right, just a little bit, Missed you yesterday, Mars. Missed everybody that wasn't here yesterday. I mean, we had a great show. We did have people love the show.
The people seem to enjoy it. Apparently,
Yeah,
Chill and Swapper got some good chemistry, and Ron just being Ron.
Jokic, Jamal Murray, and I was Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean, you there. You there. Shout out to you.
Not much floor spacing, but we made it happen.
They made it work in spite of you. They made it work.
Jokic was Jokic in it.
No, they said we was Jokic and LeBron going for 40 yesterday. We were just putting in the work.
Meanwhile, Ron is just getting in the middle of the plays that we run.
I'm not gonna lie, Ron.
Not be J.
You actually did a great job yesterday. All things considered, you did a great job.
He was Aaron Gordon. I watched it.
I thought
he was John Stockton.
He
was John Stockton. He was John Stockton.
Yes.
Joe Stockton. Joe Stockton ain't bad.
And then at the end of the show, Chill having a cute off for some reason. I don't know why we went there. I thought we were talking hoops, but you know what I mean. You know, talking about skin complexion and side profiles.
You brought that up.
I did not bring that up. That was
you the one brought that up.
That was not me, bro.
I did not bring that up.
Anyway, we talking hoops, bro. I'm not here talking about this nonsense.
Listen, it's breaking news right now. You in your city. It's breaking news in your city. You got to talk to us, man. How are you feeling right now? I got a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I said I was on this last year. I think he should have been there last year. I said Russell would fit really well in Denver. I think a lot of people at the time were down on it. Russell fans were just like, we don't want him to be like a 6th, 7th man off the bench. So they weren't ready for him to accept that, which is, I think, part of the problem. But I think that he's just a better basketball player than Reggie Jackson. He's just overall. It's just, I love, again, shout out Reggie, Colorado kid. He's a really, really nice dude. Met him in real life, but he's just not a fit for the Nuggets because Mars, Chill, everybody knows. Jamal Murray needs a player that can be a primary on-ball defender with the bench, not with the starter, but with the bench because he doesn't need to take on that role. And the Nuggets, they only had Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic as ball handlers on the roster, and then it was going to be Jalen Pickett without Reggie Jackson. And now you add Reggie Jackson in there, I would say they have 4.5 legitimate ball handlers on the roster, including Julian Strawther. And you saw the Celtics. That's what the NBA is now. You saw the Nuggets the year prior when they won. Bruce Brown, Jamal, Jokic, Gordon, and then they needed to give the ball to one of the others. They had 4 bona fide ball handlers.
Sure.
That's what you have to have because you saw when Jamal had the injuries, they couldn't get the ball up the court as often as they could unless they gave it to Aaron Gordon. And you just need as much versatility as possible. So I do think Russ will fit. Russ is going to have an open rim. He's going to be a good off-ball cutter. I think he's going to be a good defender, given the fact that he has to lock into on-ball defense. Off-ball is a little different story for Russ. Russ can run the baseline, obviously. The thing is, the Nuggets, because of the Saric, Blanco news, and again, Deron Holmes supposed to be in that as well. Like, they were going to have bigs that could shoot, all of them, which is going to be a part of the spacing, I think, issue. Now, I think to everybody's point, Peyton Watson, that's probably going to be it. Like, he has to take a sizable leap as an offensive shooter or a player offensively in order to make this even better.
Swipe, what's a sizable leap for
he shot 29% from 3 last year. Let's say Peyton shoots 36, but he had samples of 40%, of 25%, and like 32% over the course of the year. If he can find a way to not oscillate between that and he can get the 35, 36%, then, or even maybe as the year goes on, maybe, when he gets towards the playoffs, he's shooting 36, 37, whatever else, he can get into that range.
But it can't stay at 29 to 31. It can't stay there. It's got to go up.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm talking about this with my homeboy Ryan Blackburn, Mile High Sports. Shout out Ryan Blackburn later today. But I'm going to one of my propositions is, and again, Mars, I feel like you might be able to speak to this a little bit. I do think that having met Peyton, knowing some of his people, and then knowing how the Nuggets view him, if Peyton comes back this season and he's a better, like, he's been maximizing the mid-range shot. He shot for a period, he was shooting about 48% from mid-range. But if he was able to shoot 35% from three, and I personally think he's the best defender on the team. Like, I just think all around, like he does everything. And I think one of the things they want to do is Peyton is a 2-3 when he left Cali. He was a 2-3 when he went to UCLA. And last year he had to play the 4 because they didn't have Blocko and then Jeff left.
Mm-hmm.
I think a part of the plan is it's going to be Christian, Julian, and Peyton. They'll slot into that 2-guard spot. And it just really depends on who feels the best that game, who's playing the best that game. And I think Russ is going to have an opportunity to maximize a bench with Julian Strawther, who's going to be an elite shooter. He shot really well in Summer League, really good mechanics, just didn't shoot well last year in the regular season. With having Peyton Watson, having Blocko Chanchar, who's a good shooter and a good athlete, and then having Dario Saric and having Zeke Naji, the only non-floor spacer that will be on the court with him with the bench, it's going to be, I'm not including Zeke in that, would be Peyton. But I think the Nuggets are going to be staggering so much, though, y'all, that at the end of the quarter, in the first quarter, when Jamal goes out, it's going to be Russ, probably Julian, Michael Porter, with Blocko, with Jokic. And at that point, go ahead. Yeah.
Which that's what I was concerned with Penn when Penn talked about Russ playing off ball. Well, number one, I don't think he's going to play off ball when he plays on the ball, when he plays with Jamal Murray. And I think he can be really good at setting up Jamal Murray in terms of them being one-on-one guy, in terms of Jamal Murray being able to get shots. Now, I know that you like the two-man game between Jamal Murray and Joker. I doubt those three guys are going to be on the floor for extended minutes.
Yeah.
And the reason why I feel like that is because Russ can't spread the floor the way he needs necessary. But when Joker is off the floor, or when you got Murray and Westbrook in the backcourt, I think the game speeds up. I think you get more transition buckets from Jamal Murray, more stop and pop from Jamal Murray. I think you get more from Michael Porter Jr. just in transition, particularly. Now, I'm not worried. That's why I'm not worried about Russ playing off the ball, because when he's on the floor with Jamal Murray, Jamal's the one who's going to play off the ball more, and Jamal doesn't have a problem playing off the basketball.
I think Jamal, when he's resting with the second unit in particular, Jamal. But again, here's the thing, Jill. If you're telling me if the non-Jokic minutes, because that's what everybody's talking about, is the non-Jokic minutes. Jamal, Westbrook, with one of either Julian Strawther, Porter, with probably Blocko and Aaron Gordon in a playoff setting. That's something they would be looking at. Like now I do think, to everybody's point, Penn was right about this. AG Russ, that's going to be a little difficult unless AG's hitting his threes. But even the defense are still going to be slanted towards the paint. But they're just going to have to. I think this is important because Jokic asked for Westbrook because he did not want to have another young ball handler. Yeah. Jalen Pickett, if you watch Summer League, has not looked good at all. Mars could probably play better than what Jalen Pickett is playing right now in Summer League. And I respect to Jalen. He was a really good player at Penn State, but he doesn't have the athleticism, Chill. He's not an explosive. He's not an offensive threat, and he's not a good defender.
And he's not young.
Right. I was going to say, he's not young. He's at 24, 25.
Right. That's so all that. But then Mars, have you seen Trey Alexander, though?
I mean, are you expecting rotation minutes from him?
No, I'm saying, but he's going to be, I think he's more likely to play over Jalen at this point than Russ. I think he'll be the team's third point guard, is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
Here's a question for you, Swipe. Because you covered the Nuggets. Rate the following 3 players that were available, or 4 players that in theory were available. And I'm not suggesting that all of these guys would have gone to the Nuggets for the same contract that Russ is taking, but you take someone like Gary Trent Jr., Markelle Fultz, right? Russell Westbrook.
For the Nuggets or just in general?
Just for the Nuggets specifically.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I probably would put Russ at the top just because with the Gary Trent, he is not a primary ball handler. And I think I did want Gary to sign with the Nuggets, and I did think he was going to get $5 million or less because that's just kind of where the market was going. And then he goes to Milwaukee for a minimum, and he can play really well with them. But the thing is, they're going to have a primary point guard off the bench and then have Gary Trent at the 2. So I really do think that, they're going to be a really advantageous situation this year. I think Gary, and then I think Fultz would have been last because Fultz is also a non-shooter. So, Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because it's like a magnifying effect of the Jokic effect right now. First of all, I'm very, very high on Peyton Watson. I've been high on him since pre-draft. Loved him at UCLA, even though the numbers screamed second round pick. I was very happy when they picked him with the
2
first round pick.
points, scream second round pick.
Yeah,
Are we going to? We're going to go
points per game for a
No,
first round pick ever.
the upside.
The upside was immense.
100%. 6'9", superior athlete, get up and down the floor.
Absolutely.
Defend.
And
Yeah.
if you watch, and if you
But
see
everyone made too much of his numbers at UCLA.
Right.
Is
Right.
my point. And I saw the upside on him. And again, listening to him speak, you could see that he wanted to be serious about this.
Yeah.
So again, saw the upside. Really happy the Nuggets picked him. And I thought he was going to be a great fit. I didn't see Christian Brown working out this well for the Nuggets. So that has been a positive revelation as well. Also was high on the Julian Strawther pick. Having watched him for a few years, that was like, and he looked good in Summer League. He looked really good. And he looked
well
good
last
in
year,
parts
from what I
last year
heard.
too.
Yeah.
Right. So that second unit is very good. I understand the need for primary ball handling. For me personally, I would have put Russ last on those players. Because again, when we're talking about you needing all these guys to take that jump, you're talking about a lot of unproven assets. You mentioned Julian Pickett as one of your 4.5 ball handlers. So I understand that you are
Julian Strawther.
Jalen Pickett.
Yeah.
Sorry, you mentioned Jalen Pickett as one of your 4.5 ball
Yeah,
handlers.
he would have been, but he's not good enough. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is, like, you do have Aaron Gordon that can sort of spot run point forward for you. You can run offense through him.
Yeah, he did that.
You have You have Jamal Murray. You have, in theory, you have Nikola Jokic. And do you see a little bit of maybe some initiation potential from Julian Strawther?
Yeah, see, Julian has done that in Summer League, and so I think, and he showed he could do it in college as well, but he didn't have to do it consistently. So I think Julian can. He's an actual guard. I think that's the other thing about Julian. He's a real guard. That is important. But I do think though, bro, is that when you're asking like Jalen Pickett to step in to be the 6-man guard, like lead ball handler off of a championship level team, I just think would have been too much. Now again, but if you're not familiar with me, I've been asking for Chris Dunn. So just to give you a timeline, I asked for Bruce Brown when they got him.
You did ask for Chris
I asked the next year, I was asking for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who got $4.5 million a year, which I thought was insanity for a player that good. And I've been asking for Chris Dunn for the last several months.
Yes, you
so
did. I do remember
that was what I wanted. But I also then said that Russell Westbrook would be Dennis Smith Jr. and Russell Westbrook would be right underneath what I would need for that. I just don't think Fultz, bro, he's just not a good enough defender. And he would Jamal Murray and Fultz would not be a good pairing off the bench, I think, just because of that.
You guys are actually swaying me with this ball handling thing because I'm thinking about Joker as a ball handler, primary ball handler, distributor. I really didn't think that it was that important to have that many more ball handlers, I'm only thinking of it in the half-court sense. So now when you got a guy like Aaron Gordon bringing the basketball up, well, that kind of takes away from who Aaron Gordon is, whether he's in the dunker spot, whether he's in transition. That kind of takes away from who he actually can be. So having more ball handlers does help Joker. Not only does it help Joker, it helps the whole crew because now the offense opens up, especially if you got downhill guys. It's one thing to just have ball handlers, but if you got guys who can get to the rim, that opens up the offense.
That's why Bruce works
more.
so well.
Right. Yeah. It opens up the offense even more. And I was trying to figure out, Swipe, why you were so big on Chris Dunn. I'm like, why does this dude keep asking for Chris Dunn? What's the deal? Well, I do understand on the defensive side of the
Teams
ball.
Teams are so stupid. Respect. I mean, dead ass chill. What a front office to be looking at. I'm being honest with you, chill. Like I'm being for real, chill. Like what do people be looking at? Chill, he's 6'4.5". The same thing with Nikola. He's 6'5", combo guard that can defend out the wazoo and can offer you some creation on the other end. I don't mean like bang 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 creation. I'm like getting you into an offense and then getting off the ball and moving. Chill. What are we doing?
Defends, and you can get him on the cheap too. I mean,
cheap,
and you could get him on the cheap. So there was no reason why to at least explore that. I was trying to figure out where you at with that, but I remember watching
the Clippers are about to be nice, bro. Like real spit. I don't think they're gonna be like 2021, 20 good, but chill. Chris Dunn, Harden, Kawhi, like they have a nice roster. DJJ, they got a nice roster now with Chris Dunn on the roster.
Like honestly, like the point about the ball handler thing, I'm assuming that Jokic is playing like 38 minutes, 37 minutes, and especially because I'm building now for the playoffs. I'm assuming he's playing like damn near 42 minutes, right? So I'm not nearly sure how Russell Westbrook fits in a lineup with Jokic, period, first of all, because his greatest strength is somewhat offset by the fact that, you know what I mean? Jamal Murray plus Jokic, that's a large chunk of your minutes. And if you could have Aaron Gordon running sort of a poor man's prime Ben Simmons off your bench, right? I'm not saying off your bench, but with your second unit, I think you have just enough to make it work. To the Markelle Fultz thing, I got to say this because I love Markelle. He's a good defender. I don't know if I remember correctly. Did you say he's a bad defender? I don't think he's a bad defender at all. I think he's a really good defender.
Markelle was benefited from, I think, an Orlando Magic situation where he was surrounded by a lot of wings. I don't think that on this team, because of some of his injuries,
unlike Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I just don't think he would be as good as what Russ could walk.
But he could be much better offensively, right? So that's the amplifying factor.
He's a non-shooter too, though.
He is. He is a non-shooter.
Is he better off the ball? I mean, like on the dribble, like off the dribble than Russ.
He's shiftier. He's more athletic, in my opinion, at this point in his career. And I'm also of the opinion that
athletic.
Yeah. In terms of burst right now, in terms of
sneaky athletic.
No, he still got it a little bit, but Russ is still getting
Who is sneaky athletic, Ron?
Markelle. He got that athleticism where it looked like he's not moving fast. But Markelle be moving.
Shifty.
He got that athleticism where it looks like
and also too, y'all, he played way more games last year. Like Russ played 25 more games than Markelle. Like
there's never been a durability issue with Russ.
So that's the other Pin to add to your point. That's the other thing. Because Jamal missed 23 games last year. So I think they're also looking at it as, okay, well, we need someone, if Jamal misses 15, 18 to 20 games again, can we have this person be like a spot starter that's going to be there and going to play consistently? That was the other end of that.
I just think there's a trade-off thing, right? Because it's like I gotta there's another factor that we're not factoring in here, which is the largeness of the personality, right? I think of a person like Russell Westbrook, and I'm like, there's no way this guy is just sitting at the end of your bench, comfortable with the DMPCD because the lineup didn't work out for him. I don't think this guy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if he's comfortable playing 8 minutes.
He's not going to be sitting on the end of the bench because he's going to be their sixth man.
Hold up. If we get,
Russell Westbrook is not about to play,
man.
He's going to yes, Ox, and he's going to be starting on some nights too, Ox. Yes, that's
if Jamal Murray's hurt,
but he is going to be starting some nights too.
Russell Westbrook's not playing anything less than 20 minutes a night. I don't know why
that's a problem.
Russ can only Swipe was talking about being in that second unit. Russ can only play with Jokic.
Oh man!
If Jokic ain't on the floor, Russ can't be on the floor.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's
not true.
In that sense, Russ.
Hey, by the way, what's up, Ox? Good to see you, bro.
What's good? Happy birthday, fam.
Thank you, bro. I missed you yesterday, real spit, bro. We was carrying, we was holding it down, but definitely.
I caught the graveyard shift, man. I love that show. That's awesome what you're doing.
Oh yeah. We got so much in our archives, but I do
as you were saying, Ox. As you were saying, Ox.
I do want to say this. Him and AG, that's like Russ is like a 6'3" Aaron Gordon. AG, like
that's pretty
they gonna be on the court together.
No.
That's pretty valuable.
I know you still got faith in Russ, but come on, like this is the same. They're not through. Like the Nuggets aren't through.
Right.
Because they still got Jokic, they still got Jamal, but this is just going to be a year for them to figure out what they're going to do for the future. Nothing's going on this year. Like when the Lakers
we're in a transition year. Is that what you're saying, Ox? We're in the transition.
Basically, when the Lakers got off of KFC and brought Russ.
KFC.
You seen what happened? Now the Nuggets are doing the same thing.
You mean transition, right?
I'm sorry.
What did you mean by transition year?
He's explaining that. Keep going, Ox.
The Nuggets are doing the same thing that the Lakers did. They got off of KFC. Now Russ is there. It's going to be another down year. I told y'all already. For the amount of basketball that Russ has to play in order to be effective, he's the worst player in the NBA for those amount of minutes.
Man, this is
pound for pound, minute for minute to play for anybody that plays that minutes like a per minute thing. You know what I'm saying? Like an average, like per minute. Russ is as bad as it gets.
So if I get 20,
do people not think he was not better than Reggie Jackson last year? Like just
100%.
He was undoubtedly better than Reggie Jackson.
100%.
Well, so I'm not.
I wrote an article.
I'm not even trying to push
hating on
nothing.
his MVP. So
I'm not even
Yo,
trying to
swipe
push
him.
nothing. I'm
Oh,
just
so
saying.
did you love Russ back then when you said that too? Did you
Swipe
love
him.
Russ when
No,
you said that?
bro, I wrote an
Ron's
article
better than
said
Reggie
Russell
Jackson,
Westbrook
Swipe.
winning MVP is sending the wrong message. I was ahead of this when he was winning MVPs. I was like, he is going to go down as one of the more overrated MVPs ever. And now people are waking up to, oh, these numbers don't mean what we think they mean. The Hassan Whiteside argument, right?
Ron, you might need to step in and stop being a host and defend your man. I ain't
Revision
gonna
is
lie.
history. We're going back and saying Russ is overrated, but we won't go down the line and talk about guys like your Canadian friend Steve Nash, overrated MVP. We throwing Russ under the boat, so let me throw other people under the boat. Hello, LeBron James is still in the league. D Rose stole the MVP, but we don't talk about that. Oh, we were so happy about a 23-year-old youngest MVP ever. I'm saying, like, no, if we're gonna go back and criticize MVPs, if we're gonna go, no, Penny wants to get nasty, so let me get nasty too. I'm saying, like, if I'm gonna step off this host pedestal, let me get nasty then. If that's gonna be the case, no, he just said Russell Westbrook's MVP was overrated.
It is overrated.
I said it sent the wrong message. Hold up. I said it sent the wrong message.
Whoa.
It sent the wrong message.
It sent the wrong message.
Going that far.
Yes.
What message did it send?
It sent the message that stat padding and effectively team role don't matter.
But he was hold on. Again, I'm not even a Russ defender. Y'all have not heard me get up here and
You're
do
about
this.
to become one.
This is the thing. I don't want to be. This is what I don't want to be categorized as. That is not me. I've never been that. I'm never going to be that. I am a very realistic approach to Russ. I appreciate him, but I also know he's not Harden. He's not Kawhi. He's not Durant. He's not LeBron. He's not Curry. But whatever that tier is right below those players, that's exactly where Russ belongs in terms of the decade that he played. The decade that he played, he's right below all those guys. Whatever. Marge, you can make that little funny face all you want. And again, that's cool. Top 7 player of his era, top 6 player of his era. But these other side, the way y'all be like talking about like Russ for me is so much built on like, yes, he absolutely gassed some of his numbers, but what he had to do to win that MVP. And again, it wasn't like he just won it off the numbers. He was also literally his most efficient high volume season of his career.
Then
he was excellent that year.
Then he
he was excellent that year.
That's still numbers. You just said his most efficient.
I know, but I'm saying, but like, it's not like he was just stat padding and like he was just doing. They were winning the court. They were winning the minutes when he was on the court. They were terrible when he wasn't on the court. And then he also literally like was in the conversation for top 3 player in the league that year.
So like we give everything so much credit for dragging that OKC team to the playoffs with Shea and who else was over there? It was Shea and Dennis Schroeder. We give CP3 so much credit. Like the unit that Russ had was just night and day better than that. But Russ gets no credit for literally throwing the team on his back.
No credit
After Kevin Durant did what he did, and the team went to shit. Russell Westbrook literally grabbed all the pieces, put it back together, and on the fly. Have you guys ever seen somebody fly a plane that is
no engine?
Never.
Have you seen somebody fly a plane while putting it back together?
I have seen that.
A crashing plane?
Captain Sullenberg did it for U.S. Airways. That's the Miracle on the Hudson. He did that 100%.
Yeah, and you know who else did it? Russell Westbrook did it for OKC Airlines. Okay,
you just compare Russell Westbrook to Sully, bro.
He did.
That's gonna go down as the L take of the show.
Like that man saved lives, Ron.
Russell Westbrook saved careers too. It might not be no Domantas Sabonis without Russell Westbrook.
What?
I'm just saying, like Victor Oladipo.
I'm pretty sure his dad had something to do with that.
Keep Victor Oladipo out of this, Ron. You're going too far, bro. You're going too far.
Hey,
what I'm saying is this, Ron.
Andre Robertson, come on, chat. Please help me.
You talking about that Russ? Yeah, that Russ don't need no defending. What Penn said, okay, that's an opinion. That's an opinion. That's okay. He was tripping. Well, all I'm saying is this, Ron. This Russell Westbrook that we're dealing with right now, and I know how you feel about Russ, Ron. But we gotta stop, bro. This is how we get into the guys that are at the end of their career and we're just still holding on to who they once were. I've been there before, Ron. I did that with Paul Pierce when he was with the Wizards. I did that with Paul Pierce when he was with the Clippers. I've done this before. Ron, it's done for Russ, bro. It's done.
He's still nice. He's still good as a rotation player, Ron. But let's chill out on him.
I haven't even said anything about Russ this year.
Yeah, but
for this year.
But
the conversation
I feel you, Ron, but
I'm
just trying to get to today. I don't want to talk about the past. Let's get to today. Let's get to what's going on right now. We don't got to talk about nostalgia. I know how.
Ain't that
I
right?
don't care about that. I don't care about that, Swiper. I don't.
What I was trying to say was,
I know how
It got nothing to do with me. I wasn't there.
Up right now.
I didn't know you existed until today.
I did.
I know how eloquently Swiper was trying to, make it seem like there's still hope for the Nuggets this year. And that's fine. That's fine. Like, I expect that from you, Swiper. I'm proud of you for not just coming up here and completely capping.
Wait, so you're saying they're not contenders anymore?
Well, they still got Nikola Jokic, bro. They still got Nikola Jokic. So they got some type of action. But like,
bro,
I heard.
You're not talking to a hater here.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, real quick. I heard because I heard like who was it? Eddie Johnson, I think, was talking about what he did in the playoffs back last year against the Suns and all that. Like that was 2 years ago though. Now like Russ is done, bro. It's and there's no knock. That's no disrespect. Like shout out to Russ for being a hell of a player.
So basically, KCP lost. Took them out of title contention.
What I'm asking Ox is, what I'm asking you, Ox, is when you say done as an elite player or done period? What are we talking about?
Done as a contributor to contention. You know what I'm saying? Like him being a contributor to a team contending is not. He's not Russ has never been a championship basketball player. Okay.
Ever?
He did get to the finals. You remember that?
They were in the Western Conference Championship.
Well, they got to the finals. Let's not.
That had a lot to do with Russ. That had a lot to do with Russ. It wasn't like Russ was just.
Maybe not never, but it's been a long time. It's been a long time, Chill. It's been at least 7 years since Russ was. Russ.
Hold up. I will say this.
Russell
Westbrook in Houston was.
Hold on 1 second, Pin. 1 second. In Houston, but do not cap for that. Please do not cap for that. That was some of the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life.
Worst.
No.
That was terrible basketball.
Absolutely
you can't give me
not.
anything other than that, bro.
Okay.
That was terrible basketball.
There was a stretch in Houston where Russ was amazing.
But he's not.
But that was after they had to end up flipping the roster to make it fit.
Yes, he was basically their center, and
it's been a very long time since Russ contributed to winning.
If Russell Westbrook,
he was a winning player last year.
Okay, let me put it this way: there has to we're not going to come up here and just say that Russell. Like I was trying to say that I've been a Russell hater. Okay, I've been a Russell hater pretty much my whole life.
In this game.
Absolutely, I have articles to prove it. But I am not going to sit here and pretend that he's not a good player. He's a fine player. It's just you cannot talk about him the way Ron's talking about him, where he's going to come in and play 20 minutes or whatever and be a really, really big part of everything because he doesn't necessarily fit well with your best players. And again, it just kind of comes down to what we're talking about with Clay the other day about, he still looks like Russell Westbrook MVP. He still kind of looks like the same guy, but he's not the same guy. The athleticism that was like the driving force, right? Like you take a guy like Ben Simmons, Russell Westbrook, not the same player, not comparing them. I'm just saying guys who don't have jump shots or necessarily are taking jump shots to the point where defenses are respecting them, they rely on athleticism. They rely on transition. When that step goes from elite, like Russell Westbrook being like the best athlete or one of the 3 best athletes in the NBA to now coming back to maybe being one of the 100 to 120 best athletes. Yeah, he's still athletic. But that burst that was getting him to the rim is the same situation with John Morant. If John Morant couldn't shoot, John Morant would be in trouble if his athleticism went, right?
It's been gone, Pin.
Pardon?
It's been gone.
Okay. When we say it's been gone, let's not pretend he's a non-athlete. He's still a pretty good athlete.
I'm not saying all these dudes are athletic, but we're talking about NBA players. I'm talking about elite compared to NBA players. He's not that anymore.
So just to ask a clarifying,
he's not the gold standard for athleticism.
He's not what he once was, and that's that was the separator, Pin. His skill set has never been the separator.
But does that mean
I understand that? But there's a version of this that could work for the Nuggets, and I don't think we're talking about that because look, the version that y'all seen of Russell Westbrook throughout his career, in my opinion, if he comes in and tries to be that player for the Nuggets, it's gonna fail really bad.
It's the only player he got. He don't got nothing else in his repertoire.
Let's not completely ignore the fact that Jokic is a great offensive amplifier. And we have seen what Bruce Brown looks without him in Indiana and Toronto. It is not the same player. Like Bruce Brown went from a guy who's a $15 million player to a $5 million player.
I mean,
that's the gap.
$22.5 million player.
So
22 and a half. He got 22
and a half. Okay, 22 and a half.
Sure.
Time on a 2-year. That's what he got, but that's not what he played like. Okay, Jokic got him paid, right? The championship got him paid.
No, respect.
What
Bruce.
I'm saying
He did a lot to give himself that money.
He's a great cutter. Bruce Brown's a great cutter. Bruce Brown has like
good right corner 3-point shooter.
Exactly,
driver.
he's positionally versatile. But you know who else is positionally versatile? Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
You know who else is in theory a great cutter? Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
Right? You know who else can be positionally versatile defensively and offensively? Russell Westbrook. You know who's a really good secondary playmaker and even occasionally a primary playmaker? Russell Westbrook.
That's the only thing you just said that wasn't cap, man. That's the
no.
First,
hold on,
but
can we? And I'm not even trying to like. I'm really genuinely like. I'm trying to have a basketball discourse outside of the Russell Westbrook paradigm because that is talking about Russell Westbrook is more of the theory around Russell Westbrook than it actually is his basketball. And I think that's why it's difficult to talk about Russ.
And the theory equates to hate, Swiper.
So, but again, don't do it because they're going to go off. I'm saying just ignore that. I'm saying that's fine. Russell is one of the most polarizing players in the NBA. I'm trying to talk about the actual.
If they was hating on Jamal Murray, you wouldn't let this slide, Swiper.
No, I don't.
If they was hating on Jason Tatum, my man up here wouldn't let this slide.
This is what I'm talking about.
If it was Jalen Green, Mars would be jumping through the screen. You see, I mentioned Sabonis. I was ready to kick everybody out the room, but I'm supposed to just let Russ Slater slide left and right. You guys are disrespecting. You guys are disrespecting.
Ron, stop doing what you're doing.
Disrespecting a bona fide Hall of Famer.
Ron, stop doing what you're doing.
Swipe it. He is on your roster now.
No, Ron, I'm trying to talk basketball, and you're doing this nonsense.
I'm trying to talk basketball too.
No, you're not.
Ron
Stop
turning
yapping.
into Dion was not on my bingo card today.
Go back to your little Seattle club you was at last night. With one of your little boo things, and stop yapping. Just let me. I don't care, Ron.
I celebrated your birthday for you.
We had a great episode
yesterday. Last night for you.
We had a great episode. You know why, Ron? You knew your role, and you shut your mouth.
Shit.
That's why. Listen. So this is what I'm saying. The reason why I'm trying to talk just the hoop stuff is because all this is going to turn into is what Ron.
Which is exactly what it's turned into right now.
Which is exactly what it's turned into over here yapping. And then Ox is saying he's the worst player in the league. Based on his player. Yeah, sure, no problem.
It's not
fine.
true.
That's not. That's what I'm trying to. I'm saying. I'm trying to stay out of that because Denver, we just don't really talk about like hoops like that. That's just not how it works. Like Russ has a role he will play, and there's a role that he can be successful in. But as many of y'all have said, Ox, you better be quiet with that John Henry shirt on. And on the other side, on the other side of that is. As Ox said, if he gets out of his lane, then he will be bad. He will be a bad player. So hopefully, as everyone else does, when they walked into the Nuggets, again, Reggie Jackson did it and then failed at it on multiple occasions, and he wasn't a good defender, so he shouldn't have been there. And then on the other end of this, Bruce Brown did it, KCP did, all the role players. You come to Denver, Jeff Green, everybody does it. You walk in, and all you got to do is play within the system, and you live it, literally. So hopefully Russ can do that. But if he doesn't pin, you're right. And it's going to be Trey Alexander or some trade, and they're getting another point guard in there.
So he's on a Western Conference tour.
Sure.
That's 16
just from a pace standpoint. Okay, Ox, Russ might not be the athlete that he used to be, but he still can play fast.
Definitely not.
And he can still get guys involved. So just from a pace standpoint, Denver was at the bottom of the league in pace last year. Do you think at any point with Russ now being on the crew, Russ enhances that? Because I'd like to believe that he does. I think Aaron Gordon runs more. I think Michael Porter Jr. runs more because Russ does speed the game up. I think Joker runs more. Off the strength that now you got Russ. I think Joker runs more.
I don't think Russ turns Joker into an athlete. Like
no
disrespect to Jokic.
He's a really good athlete.
That came out. Okay,
all right, I'm with you.
But you know,
you seen the Olympic beds? You seen the Olympic beds?
Hold on, Swiper. Let's stay focused.
No, now you want to stay focused. All right.
I've been focused. I've been focused. I'm trying to push this home. What I'm trying to say is this: Russ, that's not what I want Russ to do. Like, yeah, sometimes in the game, I want Russ to, get out in transition. but I don't need Russell Westbrook running, trying to speed it up, looking for MPJ in transition, throwing the ball way over here. Like, he's just not who he once was, Chill. And we've seen this before. We've seen Russ be super reactionary. Like, Denver is a thinking squad. You know what I mean? They're gonna MPJ is gonna be shooting trail threes, but is Russ gonna be the one to be getting these guys the ball in open court? You know, with
yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right.
That's the only question I got. And I'm not.
Why
I
is
don't
that
want
a
to debunk that.
question?
And for Russ,
Because what I'm saying, Ron, what I'm saying is from the beginning. Let's go back to what Swipe had said earlier. Russ not playing all these minutes with these guys and playing minutes with these guys. If in order for Russ to be effective, I feel like he needs to be on the court with Jokic. And I just don't want Russ on the court, Ron. Like
that's really what it is.
You don't want Russ on the court.
Let me explain why, Ron. Stop.
Before you explain why, can I just let you know the reality of the situation?
No.
You don't want Russ on the court.
Because
They signed Russell Westbrook.
You're speaking with emotion, bro.
Let's
Let's just talk basketball for a second. Stop getting upset, bro. Stop getting upset. Don't get mad. Don't get mad.
No. I'm not.
I just want you to hear me out.
Reality of the situation.
Okay, I want you to hear me out, bro. You hear Russell Westbrook, and you just lose it, bro. You just lose it.
I'm listening.
Calm down, Ron.
I'm listening.
Relax, bro.
We're listening, Ox. We're listening.
You can't listen and talk at the same time, Ron.
We're listening. Talk.
Hey, 45.
So look.
Stop.
So
45.
look.
Stop.
So this is what I'm saying, yo. This is what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out where Russ fits in. That's why I just kind of just had a realization, like, I don't want Russ on the floor, because I'm trying to figure out where does he fit in. How because if he's on the court with Jokic, he's on the court with Jamal Murray, that means they have the ball. Where is Russ gonna be? He needs to be where Aaron Gordon is. If Chill had the audacity to say that he's still a great defender. I'm like, where?
Whoa. When I said,
Chill didn't say that.
What I heard it. Okay. I heard it before I got here. Somebody said Russ is still a good defender, great defender, whatever. He's not.
He has.
So I'm trying to figure out where is he going to fit in. He doesn't fit in with that starting unit because he's not going to have the ball, and so he's just off ball wasting time. KCP is a much better shooter than Russ, so he spaced the floor a little better than Russ.
Sure.
Russ can't space the floor. Him and Aaron Gordon are gonna be over there tripping over each other's feet. And then in the second unit, it's like so now I want Russ running my second unit over here. This version of Russell Westbrook, I don't. He's not a good decision maker. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be a leader. He needs to be a leader of that second unit. And that's the last person I want.
Reggie Jackson.
That's not hard to be.
So that's who played. That's who played last year, Ox. That doesn't make any sense. You're comparing. Ox. You're comparing Russ to other stars and starters. He's a veteran minimum being compared to Reggie Jackson. That's the conversation.
Reggie Jackson is the triggering point.
First of all,
that's the conversation.
First of all, Swiper,
just to figure out the camera. I know that for damn sure. I know that for damn sure.
I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to. I was shining that egghead. Stop playing with me. Look, I'm not nice like Chill. All right. Look, calm down, brother.
No, you're very friendly. No, Ox, you're very friendly. You're literally like the nicest person up here. What are you talking about?
So what I'm saying, okay, so be nice to me then. If I'm nice to you, be nice to me.
I'm always nice to you.
So this is what I'm saying. I'm not comparing Russ to anybody. I'm just saying I don't want Russ running my second unit, and I for damn sure don't want him getting in the way of the first unit. So now that's what I'm saying. Where does he fit in? I think Russ only fits in when Jamal Murray is hurt.
Ox, this conversation doesn't work with you because you already have your preconceived notion of Russ, period. So even if this is Russ 5 years ago in Houston, who's 26, 8 and 7, you still don't like Russ on this court. That's the point that I'm making. That's the point that I'm making. Even though he didn't take 40 shots.
DeJounte Murray, basically.
But DeJounte Murray's better than Russell Westbrook. What are we talking about?
Of course, he's better than him today.
47 shots in that game.
But the point is, the point is, Ox, you can't be objective about Russell Westbrook in this situation because you only see Russell Westbrook how you've been seeing him in the past. and he's a
But
rotation
chill,
guard.
That's how opinion and statements work.
No,
I can't.
it's not.
Wait, hold on. I can't have an opinion on something if I don't know how I feel about the said person. Like I can't just come in here blind like and say something if I don't know anything
Right,
about
be blind to not be biased.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. This isn't biased. This is
it
me.
is. Have you heard that? You said he's the worst player in the NBA on a permanent basis. That's just factually incorrect.
Okay, but that's not me being biased. That's just how I feel about this basketball.
And
player.
That's what a bias is. Feelings and opinions lead to bias. That's how that works.
I'm saying the word bias because
Penn just said Cade Cunningham wasn't worth his draft stock because he's 13 and 4. That's a bias.
He's not 13.
Your opinion.
Don't say 13.
He's not 13th in VORP. Yeah, get the VORP
keep throwing these things.
Get the VORP right.
And then not let
13th is very generous.
Go ahead.
This is crazy. So what I'm saying is I'm not biased because I don't agree with y'all.
No, that's not what. No. You're biased because you're taking bias.
Swiper. It's not 3 people up here today, bro. Relax, sir.
It's just normal day. This is a normal day. Welcome to the show.
What I'm trying to say is this isn't bias, bro. This is just me saying how I feel about this situation. You guys disagree with me, so now I'm being biased. Okay,
now now, Ox, you're saying,
hold on,
this is how you feel about this situation based on what you've seen in the past. Now, Ox,
what else am I supposed to base it on?
Well, of course, 100%, Ox, 100%.
That's how the scientific method works.
That's exactly
we've seen this.
How here's the difference, though. The difference is that things change. Russ isn't in the same role that he was in 5 years ago. You've seen Russ with the Clippers as a rotation guard.
Do you have your reading glasses on?
I do have them on.
Can you read this, please? What is the definition of bias?
Prejudice in favor of or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way considered to be unfair. There was evidence of bias against foreign applicants.
The first word was prejudice. This isn't prejudice. There's no prejudice here. I disagree with y'all. So y'all want to put
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, Ox.
I wasn't suspended.
Ox, first and foremost, do you understand? I'm sure you do, but I want to make sure that we're clear. Do you understand what prejudice is? That means to prejudge. You are prejudging Russ based on what you saw in the past.
No, don't do that, Chill, because you know for a fact that what you just said and prejudice are different. If that's the case, then everything we say would be prejudice. But that would mean every
prediction would be prejudice
because it's prejudged.
Right.
So Chill. So what you're saying is that every opinion we have about something that we have previous knowledge about.
Ox, why do I think Jason Tatum is a top 5 player in the game?
Prejudice.
Based on what?
So you're prejudiced.
Based on what?
Okay, for sure. Got you. Don't forget you said that. No, chill. Don't forget you said that, all right? Don't forget.
Wait a minute. That's always been my stance in everything.
Okay, but what I'm saying is don't forget you said that because now every time you have an opinion,
thank you, Ox. Thank you, Ox.
Okay, exactly. So
we all have prejudices.
No. Same for you, Swiping. Now
we all have prejudices. Every person does.
Ox,
every person.
Ox, let me ask you a question.
Look, y'all can't box me up.
No, we're not boxing you up.
I do have prejudices. I'm acknowledging I have prejudices. Look, hey, chill. Guess what? I will never and will have never, Ox. Let me be clear, Ox. Have never, will never, no matter what. I'm never going to like to show friends. I'm never going to like it. There's nothing you can do to make me like that show. I am prejudiced against the show. I will never, ever like that show.
Do you understand why? Do you understand why? Real quick, Ox. Do you understand why he feels that way about that? The reason why he feels that way. The reason why he feels that way about that is because the reason why he feels that way about that is because Living Single was friends before friends.
Yeah, they stole the concept.
They bit the whole style.
Yeah, so that's what they do. That's what they do. But this means that every time you say, I like it was Chill. You like Gatorade. That means you're prejudiced against apple juice.
No, that doesn't mean that I don't like apple juice. No, those.
No. Pin.
I reach.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Not right now, Ron. Not right now. Pin. But you heard what Chill just said. Chill said before this. Go back about 2-3 minutes ago. He said that basically what he said is any opinion that I have based on previous knowledge is a prejudice, and that's just not what prejudice is. That's just
Hang on
not
one sec. Let's try.
One second,
I think we're getting carried away because
we are getting extremely carried away.
We are just way off here. Hang on.
When we talk about in the beginning of the season, when Ron and us do this, when Ron comes up here and we do this in about a month or so, when we talk about the top 10 players going into the 24-25 season, when we talk about who's going to be the league MVP, when we talk about who's going to be the defensive player of the year, what are we basing that on? We're basing that on what we saw previous to that. We're not just going, this dude. I'm prejudging what this guy has done and what I think he's going to do based on what he did do. That's exactly what
this conversation is not going to go anywhere. We're not going to get here. Look, everybody has prejudice. You need to understand that. Hold up. And please stop treating it like it's a bad thing because it's not. Okay? Ox, you're a big. You play the big position. You've seen the game from the position of the post, right? You're going to have a bit of a prejudice towards big men being frozen out of the offense. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that you're a bad guy. No. It just means
you're prejudiced towards the Kings.
I played guard. I'm going to have a prejudice against bad point guards. I'm going to have a prejudice against point guards who don't know how to run an offense. And that's going to be my bias. And as long as you address your bias, as long as you know you have a bit of a bias, that you don't like non-defenders, and maybe you overstress offense or defense or whatever, you got to understand which way you lean and then address it. Look, I understand coming into this conversation that Russell Westbrook is a very polarizing topic in NBA circles. He's always been polarizing. Always. When he was great, he was polarizing. When he was young, look at the career of Russell Westbrook. When has he not been polarizing? He's been polarizing since he was a second-year player. According to some people, taking all the touches away from KD. Then he was polarizing because he was winning, MVPs because of his triple doubles. And a lot of people were like, "Yo, he's the greatest. He's Oscar Robertson. He's LeBron James." And some people are like, "No, he's stat padding." He's
but that's not what's happening right now, Pin.
But
that's not what's happening right now.
Hold up.
They're trying to call me prejudiced and biased because I disagree with them and because I'm ready to acknowledge that Russell Westbrook. I'm willing to recognize that he is no longer who he once was. I'm willing to recognize that he is not. Okay, so but they don't feel that way. So now I'm biased and prejudiced.
But hold up, because
you said
what
something that wasn't true though.
You can't prove that's not true.
I can't prove that Russell Westbrook isn't the worst minute by minute player in the league. You can literally prove it.
You can do it with true shooting. That's not real basketball.
True shooting doesn't reflect that, by the way. So stop trying to just throw words in my face.
Hold on.
All you're gonna say is some numbers, and it's just not.
You're saying something that I don't think is really true. Can everybody who thinks that Russell Westbrook is as good as he was 5 years ago put up their hand? Literally nobody thinks that. Nobody.
5 years ago, I think he was done then too. So I'll put my hand up.
You think he's worse today? You think he's as good? Okay, fine. But we're talking about in his prime, 2014 to 2019.
He's nowhere near that.
He's not that player. Okay, nobody here thinks that. The only debate here that we're having really is like we got 4 people who are somewhat in the middle on Westbrook, and we got 2 people who are on very extremes. And this is every Russell Westbrook conversation that's ever happened in NBA history. All 6 people, you take any 6 people to talk about Russell Westbrook, the conversation goes exactly like this. You got one person saying he's the worst player, which isn't true. You got one person saying he could be a starter or a 6th man, and that's probably not true either. The truth is somewhere in the middle of where you and Ron lie, in my opinion. And honestly, we all just have to address
I haven't even given my Russell Westbrook take yet. All I tried to say is I was disrespecting him.
Russell Westbrook got a veteran minimum contract.
You said he was
an hour worth of
You said he was sullied. That's your take. You stand on that take for the rest of your life.
I said you said that, Ron. You said he saved lives.
He saved careers. That's your take. So you can't say you didn't give your take. That's your take.
Okay, but that was years ago. Actually, as a matter of fact, he might save some careers right now. As a matter of fact. He might step in and just be the piece that Denver needs. He might step in and be the 6th man of the year. He might step in and be the spark plug that Denver's been looking for.
Hold up. Can I make you a bet?
We don't want to talk about the positives that Russell Westbrook brings. We haven't talked about not a positive that Russell Westbrook brings. We haven't talked about how he is definitively now. We haven't talked about how he's definitively now Denver's second best passer.
Ron, why do you have to jump over? Ron, I don't understand why you got to jump over.
No. What did I say that was crazy just now about Russell
You
Westbrook?
just said he could be sixth man of the year.
That's crazy.
No,
why is that crazy?
Hold up.
Mike Malone gonna end up benching Russ. Is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Mike
Malone's gonna end up sitting Russ ass on that bench.
$1,000 right now
today
to $10. You give me $10 if I will give you $1,000 if he wins sixth man of the year. You give me $10 if he doesn't. Would you take that deal?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
I give you 20
on record. What?
Hey,
you mean 20?
Yes, American too. I'll send you up a nice, pretty little green $20 bill. I got you.
That's hilarious. Okay.
What I'm trying to say is
$1,000 to $20. You remember this next year.
We're acting like Denver has like a phenomenal bench or something. They're going to need Russell Westbrook, like it or not.
But
like
to
it
be
or
fair,
not, Russell Westbrook is going to have to come and play
but Ron,
minutes.
he's definitively not going to be better than Peyton Watson or Julian Strawther next year. That's also true. Those things are also true. But that they need
Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther. All right, man. Let's move on.
Ron is he's so content based. He's so content based. You see him up here twerking. You see him twerking for content.
Julian Strawther. Swiper.
Hey, somebody play the video. Somebody play the video. That was Ron. That was Ron.
You watch every Denver Nuggets game, and he's not going to be better than Julian Strawther. Peyton Watson, I got love for Peyton Watson. I actually got love for Julian Strawther, too. I'm a Washington guy. He went to Gonzaga. I got love for Julian. But Julian Strawther and Russell Westbrook, we're putting him in the same.
Chill. This is called bias, chill.
That is bias.
This is called bias.
This is called telling the truth.
Ron, what is Russell Westbrook's role? When the season opens up, what is Russell Westbrook's role on this crew?
You guys are gonna hate me for saying this, and you're gonna say, "Well, talk basketball. This isn't an answer." Yada yada yada. His role is to be Russell Westbrook. His role is to be who he's been. His role is to be who he's been.
Nobody wants to be there.
His role is to come in the game. His role is to come in the game and make plays happen.
His role is to come. If he is Russell Westbrook, he will be cut. He will be cut from the team.
Russ, get downhill, get to the hoop, finish. If you can't finish, find open shooters. If you can't find open shooters, find the big in the dunk spot. This is what Russell Westbrook has done his whole career, and he's been pretty successful at it.
This is why
Russell Westbrook has been successful at being Russell Westbrook.
No, I'm never bringing
his role is to
any of
get
these
still,
NBA shows.
get the passing lane. Y'all tell me what Russell. Y'all tell me what his role is.
I just told you. I literally told you. I already said this.
What?
He literally verbatim. Let me go. Everybody, listen up. I don't want nobody cutting me off. All right. I don't want Chill and Wilt Chamberlain's a better passer than Jokic cutting me off. I don't want Mars and this Reed Shepherd thing he's on. I don't want Rocket fan doing it. Penn and his Vorp. Nobody. I don't want Ron and his Halle Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are going to make the finals. They didn't do it. The Bucks are going to make the finals. They didn't do it. I don't want to hear none of that. And I for dang sure don't want to hear wood chipper rocks up there talking about no basketball, no rest for the rest of the show. Listen to me, Ron. He is going to be the backup point guard. That's what he's going to do. He is going to play a limited role, and he's going to play next to Murray with Jokic and other shooters, and he will not be better. Not be better than Peyton Watson or Julian Strawther because their skill sets are more important to winning a championship at this point in their career than Russell Westbrook. Because Peyton Watson is literally one of the best wing defenders in the league already. He has to take a leap offensively next year. And then on the other end, Julian Strawther is going to be, I'm not dead. No.
He has to take a leap?
I'm not done.
Just because he
I don't have to repeat it. I said it. What are you asking for me to repeat it for? What are you asking for me to repeat it for? Chill. Did you understand what I said?
Hey.
Did you understand what I said, Chill?
D'Angelo Russell has to play better next year, too.
D'Angelo Russell with Peyton Watson. No, Peyton Watson in year 3. Peyton Watson in year 3 improving. Right, you're right. What? Maybe Jalen Johnson never gets any better from here.
D'Angelo Russell has to make shots next year.
Matter of fact, they should trade Jalen Johnson to the Nuggets for Russ because Russ is probably going to be better right now than Jalen Johnson ever will in the next 3 to 4 years. Since we're going with that logic. That's why I told you to be quiet. Listen.
Jalen Johnson?
So then on the other, yes.
Jalen Johnson's not Julian Strawther.
Jalen Johnson is in year. He's a more advanced player with an accelerated role. So that's a different situation. Julian Strawther is going to be a primary scorer off the bench next year. That's true. He's a better offensive player because of what he's going to be able to walk into.
I hope.
All right. See, this is what I'm saying. Never mind. I forgot what show I'm on. Penn, from now on, if you don't hear me talk any more hoops and only narrative for the rest of the time, it's because of that man with that New York style, that New York Knicks slogan behind him. Because of him. Because of him.
So what I'm trying to understand is you guys are saying that Russell Westbrook is not going to be Russell Westbrook. We've seen Russell Westbrook play how many seasons? What, Chill? He's going into his 15, 16, 17 season? 15? Right quick, Pin. We've seen Russell Westbrook since the time he was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics to the point where he took when he played with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right quick,
George Bush administration, by the way, y'all.
No, I'm gonna ask you guys a legitimate question. To the point where he played with Kevin Durant and James Harden in OKC. To when he went to the Houston Rockets and played with James Harden. To when he went and played with Bradley Beal. To when he went and played with LeBron James. We're talking about LeBron James and Anthony Davis. To when he went and played with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Have we ever seen Russell Westbrook not be Russell Westbrook?
Well, if that's the case, if that's the case, the Denver Nuggets they got 3 first-team All-NBA players on the roster: Russell Westbrook, DeAndre Jordan, and Nikola Jokic now. So they should be straight. They should be straight.
So LeBron and AD couldn't check Russ, but Jokic and Murray's gonna check Russ.
What do you mean check him? He's a grown man. What do you mean check him? Why do I have to check people?
Swiper, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. Why do they have to check Russ? Why?
If they could not make Russ not play the way that Russ plays, what makes you think
the Lakers are maybe the most dysfunctional, high-value market in the league? Their management sucks. They have been bad. That situation was terrible. I said at the time that was dumb. And
the Clippers too.
The Clippers, the Kawhi Leonard, he wasn't even available in any of the playoff runs that Russ was there. Not at all. Played like 4 games in total.
And the Wizards too.
The Wizards weren't going to win. Who were they going to beat?
In the Rockets as well.
Who were they going to beat? They lost.
And when he played on Team USA too.
What year was that? 2012.
We've never not seen Russ.
What year was that? 2012.
That's the problem, Ron.
Jill, how old were you in 2012? I mean, since we're going back, what were you doing in 2012? Apparently, we need to go back.
I was still in my 30s. I was still
in
my 30s.
The best stars age gracefully, right? The best stars change their role as they go.
I was still playing college football, Joe.
Michael Jordan continued to evolve as a player. He changed his game, right? LeBron has changed his game. Melo did not. Allen Iverson did not. If Russell Westbrook wants to become the type of player that can help to win a championship, because clearly he needs one on his resume or wants one on his resume, and let's hope he does. If Russell Westbrook ever watches this, please do not listen to Ron. Do not be yourself. Literally be anybody else. Be Bruce Brown. Be anybody else. Because I promise you right now that if he commits to the next stage of his career, if he stops looking in the mirror and seeing a MVP or triple doubles, if he stops seeing that player, because Father Time is undefeated. Every player must adjust.
0 losses. 0
losses, right? So if he is to become a contributor on a championship team, he must know his role. And to borrow Swiper's term, shut your mouth, right? So he cannot be the big personality. It cannot be like, oh, Russ is upset. Our locker room is dysfunctional. No. Fuck you, man. You're not important. You're not been that guy. Once again, y'all saying I'm throwing out narratives. When has Russ ever been upset in a locker room?
Okay, so
Lakers.
You guys have preconceived bad notions about Russell Westbrook.
No.
On top of that, did Russ not sacrifice for the Lakers?
Bro,
did he not sacrifice for the Clippers?
Yes,
the Lakers sacrificed for him.
What are we talking about?
Hold up. Sacrifice goes 2 ways. Sacrifice goes 2 ways. There are a lot of teams that have sacrificed to get him, sacrificed to fit him, sacrificed to accommodate him. And if he has to sacrifice a little bit by picking up higher on the court, being more of a defender, being better team defender, if he has to sacrifice by coming off the bench, I'm sorry, at this stage in his career, him coming off the bench is not a sacrifice. It is an inevitability. Okay, he is not a starter in the NBA. The sooner you accept that, honestly, I don't know who I'm more worried about, Ron or Russ.
I never said he was going to be a starter. I said 6 man of the year. I never said Russell Westbrook was going to be MVP Russ.
Every
never
six,
said
hold
that.
up, hold
In
up,
fact,
hold up.
I said
Every
he's gonna
sixth
play
man of the
20
year
minutes a
is
game.
really a starter. You know that.
Sixth man of
Every
the year.
sixth
What?
man of the year, every guy who's ever won sixth man of the year could have been a starter somewhere else. That's why they're winning sixth man of the year.
Malik Monk definitely can start.
Malik Monk could be a starter
Where,
for a lot
Ron,
of teams.
is Russell Westbrook starting on a playoff team?
I
Name
never
him.
said he was
why you
a
have to say
starter.
playoff
How is he
team,
winning
man?
sixth
Why
man,
have to
bro?
say
You just cost
You
yourself
can stop
$20.
Brooklyn.
I never said he was a starter. I never agree with
The
your
point
logic
that-
that
the point
six
that
men
Penn-
should
the
be
point that
starters.
Penn is
Man of the
making-
A
year.
six man's a six man.
Veteran
Okay,
minimum
find me
contract, by
a
the way.
sixth man of the year
By the way.
that couldn't
By the
start
way.
for,
He's not
for
even gonna be the
most
sixth
teams.
man. He's gonna be like the
Find
fourth
one.
man off the bench.
It's a role, right? Now, six men of the year typically end up being really good shooters. Lou Williams, it's a really good shooter, right? So it's really hard to find a player in
Montrezl
NBA
Harrell,
history.
great shooter.
Montrezl Harrell? Did Montrezl Harrell win six man of the year?
2020.
Yes, he did.
Oh my goodness. I missed that.
He might
He
be
was really good that year, though. He was
might
really
be
good.
the
Oh,
exception.
I'm not
There's-
saying-
whole season.
there's an
I'm not
exception.
saying all
man.
six men are great shooters.
There's an
I'm saying
exception to the rule.
if
Most
there's
guys,
a guard who's a
for
six
every
man,
Montrez,
probably
every
going
Montrez,
to be
let's
a
be,
really
let's
good
be
shooter.
clear, Ron. For every Montrez, there's Jamal Murray. I'm not Jamal Murray. I'm sorry. There's Jamal Crawford, and there's Lou Williams, and there's
Manu
Malik
Ginobili.
Monk. There's Manu Ginobili. There's Nas Reed. For every
to my Lou.
Montrez, right? So there's plenty of guys who come off the bench who are there's guys who come off the bench who are shooting the ball more than their guys who aren't. So let's kill that logic right now. But to your point, Ron, you keep telling us that Russell Westbrook could be the sixth man of the year. If Russell's going to be the sixth man of the year coming off the bench, that means that his role is going to be huge with Denver. That means that he's going to be
Why
playing.
would it
that-
not?
the
Because
point
Julian
that-
Strother.
the point that I'm making. The
I don't
point
like
that
the
I'm
way you
making.
keep saying his name.
Bro, every
point that-
guard who's
The
won
point that I'm making with Russ.
Like it's not
every
2024.
guard who's
making
won
with
six
Russ.
man of the year has been a shooter, bro. What are we talking about? Ben Gordon, Mike Miller, Leandro Barbosa, Manu Ginobili, Jason
All these
Terry,
guys.
Jamal Crawford. Hold up, James Harden, J.R. Smith, Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams, Eric Gordon, Lou Williams, Jordan Clarkson, Tyler
Jamal
Hero,
Crawford.
Malcolm Brogdon. Shut up, man. Trying to tell me I'm stupid because I said Montrezl Harrell. I was talking about guards.
He was the exception to the rule.
Mhm.
That's it. But for the most part, when you come off the bench as the sixth man of the year,
Ben
what
just
we're
told the
looking
chat
for
to shut up.
is
That's
we
crazy.
are looking for buckets. That's mostly what these guys are. They're bucket getters. Russ's role on this crew is not to be a bucket getter. That's not going to be his role, Ron. And if
You
you
guys
think that,
you do know that Russ was getting six man of the year votes last year. We do know
From
that he
He didn't
We do-
finish. Did he finish in top 5 at all?
he-
No.
he
Sabonis got a defensive player of the year vote, but
That
he
dude
was
is just crazy.
He
And
wasn't top
Oxen's
five,
used
but
that, by the way, in his narrative, by the way. That's how I know he's biased.
I just
I
don't
can't watch the Kings play, unlike you, Swiper.
I
like
don't
the Kings.
understand how we
Davion Mitchell,
don't-
shout out.
we see it being crazy that Russ can come and average 14, 6, and 6.
No, why would he do that? Why in the world would he do that?
All
Bruce
right.
Brown averaged.
Why would he
Bruce-
do that?
Why,
Why
for what
would he
reason?
do that?
Why would he
do that?
need to?
Did you
Why would
say
he need?
14,
Why would he
6,
need to
and
shoot the
6,
ball
Ron?
that
Yeah,
much?
Is that what you just said?
Yeah,
14,
that's-
6, and 6?
But
yeah,
why?
yeah.
But
Westbrook?
again, Ron, just
Wow,
ask yourself this
I mean,
question.
he was
Ron,
11. He was 11 and
genuinely,
5 last
Ron,
year, so.
I need you to stay in basketball lane here, okay? Just leave the player's choice narrative that Mars hates alone. Talk about the player's choice basketball stuff. Stay right here.
Uh-huh.
If
Yes.
you have an elite shooter and a player who can get to a spot on the court who's 6'6" and a second year guard on the team, why, if the player is a more efficient scorer, would he be the leading scorer off the bench when you have a better option who has more ability now to be a more efficient scorer coming off the bench as a secondary scorer? Why would Russ be leading the bench in scoring as opposed to the other player?
Who are you talking about?
The same person you keep saying.
Don't bring up Julian Strother no more this summer.
I said
I
leave
don't
it
want
alone.
to hear you say
I said
Julian.
leave
I
it
don't want
alone.
to hear you say
I said leave the
Strother.
narratives
Look, I
alone.
don't even want to hear you say Straw. Don't even say Straw on the stream no more, bro. For the rest of the summer, I don't want to hear you mention this man's name no more until
There you
until he scores 20 plus in the game. I don't want to hear
He did
nothing
last
about
year
Julian
multiple
Strother.
times.
I don't want to hear the name
That's how I
Julian
know,
Strother no
Ron.
more.
That's how I know you don't really watch hoops.
No.
He did multiple times last year. Turn on the TV. Turn it on.
Strother don't even believe this.
Stop going to the clap club.
Julian's watching the
Stop
stream
going
right
to the
now. He
clap
don't
club.
believe this.
Stop going to the clap club and watch basketball.
Julian does not believe this. I'm telling you, he doesn't.
He definitely scored over 20 points.
Multiple times.
twice.
Can I get the score of the games, please?
Multiple
Oh,
How many
all
did,
right.
how many
The
did y'all win
Pelicans
by
game,
or lose
they were
by?
down 15. They were down 15 in the Pelicans game. And then he
makes
did it
sense.
to Atlanta with 5 steals. He made like 6 threes in that game or whatever
I
else it
remember
was.
that game, actually.
Those,
I remember
those,
that game.
those,
I ain't
those
gonna
are
lie.
the two
I do
games.
remember
Yeah,
that
and
game.
he-
But-
exactly. He was in limited role last year. He was like the ninth man. Great. He's elevating this year.
I don't even know if Julian's going to really get off the bench this year. I really
100%.
don't.
Really
There-
get off
I
the bench.
really
He
don't.
might start. Yeah, he might start. You're right. He might start.
The following players
We-
finished above Russell Westbrook in Sixth Man of the Year voting: Naz Reid, who won the award; Malik Monk, who would have won the award had he not
Mhm.
gotten injured; Bobby Portis Sr., Bobby Portis Jr., Norman
Who had
Powell.
real action to win.
Yeah, sure. Norman Powell, Bogdan Bogdanovic,
On his
Jose
own team.
Alvarado. Okay, those are the players. Russell Westbrook finished with 2 points. The winning player had 352. So when you bring up that he was a Sixth Man of the Year candidate, that's crazy.
Now, if you want to say, Ron, that he was one
Like
of the
Ron
better
Paul's
rotation
a
players,
presidential candidate.
I mean,
Now, if you-
he
now-
was
now,
the
Ron, if you
second
wanna-
choice candidate of the Clippers.
now, if you want to say,
So,
All right.
Sure. if you
Oh,
want
for
to say
sure.
he's one of the
Yeah.
better rotation players
got-
in the league, okay.
The Clippers had their own award ceremony. He won Sixth Man of the Year on that
no, he
award
came
ceremony,
second. He
for
came
sure.
second to Norman Powell. But he was runner-up in Clippers 6 Man of the Year.
Perfect.
Fellas, we got to get around to these super chats.
All right, finally.
Good Energy Podcast became a member today. Shout out to him.
Mhm.
And that's the only member as of right now. But no. Noah Linden also became a member.
Mhm.
Shout out to Noah. Also, too, I do want to put this birdie in you
Seventh
guys'
man of
ear
the year.
Yeah,
To-
facts. 7th Man of the Year. Facts.
to everybody that's watching.
Uh,
I have an update. On Monday, there will be no show. So, unfortunately, no Player's Choice, the panel on Monday. We will be back with regularly scheduled programming on Tuesday. But just want to let you guys know so on Monday, you guys don't think that we're ducking you guys. You don't think that we don't want to stream a good show for you guys.
Hey, that's
No,
it.
that's not the
One
case.
day. That's it, guys. Just one day. That's all.
We're taking one day off
That's
so
it.
we
It's
can
an
plot
HR
our
day?
good content for you guys for the
One
rest
day.
of the year
That's it.
and
HR
prepare
day?
for the upcoming NBA season. What'd you say?
I know what these are. These are HR days. We have these at work. I know what those are.
It's something you did, Swiper. I know.
I didn't do anything. I'm great. I have a great
I
reputation.
got no, and by the way, Swiper, there's nothing wrong with HR days. Nothing.
No, I love
I've been
HR
part of-
days. Those are
I've been
great.
a part of HR days.
Let's
Yeah.
strategic planning meeting. Let's all talk through how we're feeling about this upcoming
Yes.
quarter. I love it.
Talk about the email. Talk about
Right.
the email that you sent.
Right. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Let's discuss
So
that.
on Tuesday, if you come up here and you see somebody not up here, that might mean they got fired on
Mhm.
Oh shit.
Monday. Okay.
I think we all know who
Other
he's
than
talking
that.
about.
Oh boy.
But
please don't go there.
with that being said, PCL will start on Wednesday. Yes, y'all have seen the slogan, only winning matters.
Mhm.
And that's why we are doing PCL, the NBA debate league that will be 7 weeks long. And it will start next Wednesday, July 24th. And the winner will get $1,000 cash
Wait.
prize. And lo and behold, everybody up here is in the PCL.
Oh, pins
We
up
will
there?
be. Pins about to win it. What you talking about?
All right, yeah. Who's pins first round matchup?
Don't worry about that, Swiper.
What side of the bracket you on, bro? I know who I'm playing in the first
The
round. I
winning
saw it.
side.
The winning side.
We're-
Oh, by the
are
way,
we
have
matched
you
up?
Pin, are you a fan of The Office?
Yes, I am.
Remember sensitivity training when they had to do the
Mars, I don't
It's
appreciate your tone when you're talking to me, Mars, and that has to change. Otherwise, then we're gonna have to have a meeting with HR.
Bro, we need to have a meeting about how to apologize. That's my 2 cents on this.
Mars,
I don't
like
want
the
to
way
get too into it.
I don't
'cause
like the way
listened
you
to the whole
talk to me,
thing.
Mars, and I
Whoa.
think that needs to change.
Pin, I was told that's a Canadian thing.
Hey, wait. Are we gonna have to do Office season 1? You gotta put the political figures up here. Like you gotta put Martin Luther King Jr. You gotta guess who it is up top.
That was crazy. Yeah,
All right, so
And for the
I
record,
got a
real
few
quick, Ron,
super chats.
real
What's
quick
up?
for the
What's up?
record, the HR meetings, that's hours out of my life that I'm never getting back, no matter what I do. I'm trying.
Chill ain't got
hard.
many left, so this
I
is
don't, right? I'd like to think I got some.
Life, Mars.
I think I got some.
Me.
But those hours I'm never getting back. I'm never getting those hours.
Yo, can I just get something off my chest? I didn't want to talk about this, but I just want to say one thing. I want to say one thing, and I'm gonna shut up about it. If you ever apologize and follow it up with a but,
Here we
don't ever
go.
talk to me again.
Here we go.
Don't ever talk to me again.
It can't never be. Hey, Penn.
That
Hey,
is the
Penn,
most toxic, messed
Penn, I'm
up
sorry.
shit ever.
Penn, I'm sorry about what I said, but okay, no, we're not doing.
Yeah, no buts. You apologize, you
apologize.
own it, you move on. That's it. That's a lesson to anybody. Anyone y'all have toxic people in your life who are like, oh, I'm sorry, baby, but it was really your fault. I'm sorry, no, but you just sensitive.
Or Penn, or if what I said offended you,
but
like if you do one of those, like if you felt offended by whatever, like bro, just get direct to it.
Or swipe on my favorite, which is no disrespect.
But follow disrespectful statement.
No disrespect.
I'm sorry if you were offended.
No, what was that? What was that movie though? What was that movie though, Chill? When he said when he was saying that I can say anything I want as long as I say with all due respect 1st.
Mm-hmm.
What was that movie? You know what I'm talking about, Sniper?
I feel was that not Dave Chappelle? It was. I feel like it was. I thought
that was Will Ferrell or Owen Wilson or one of them. But whatever though.
Right.
Yo, chat. I'm sorry I haven't got around to the super chats, but Russell Westbrook had one of the most underrated MVP seasons of all time.
Oh my god!
With that being said, Mr. Steele sent through a super chat. He's been a member for 5 months. He said, "Dub PC, Cavs in 6, FN, but for real though." Why does media want to break up our core four so bad? They tried to say DG was going to ask for a trade if Spider resigned. Also during the season, Spider is unhappy.
Well, he was unhappy.
My
That's
theory.
why JD Bickerstaff got fired. He was unhappy. That part is true. 100%.
My theory is the NBA and the media doesn't like big stars in small markets, so they tried to get them out of there. Oh, hello.
Mars, does that mean that Anthony Edwards eventually is going to be out of Minnesota?
Yes, they're going to be like, they're not building around him correctly. He needs to go. Same thing they did with Giannis in Milwaukee. Man, Giannis got to go, man. If the Bucks can't build around him, he got to go. So that's where I'm at with it. He hasn't. But that's where I'm at with it. Yeah. L host, by the way.
I'm gonna let my man get it. Why am I L host?
Garbage.
I didn't tell bro to pull up when he was in the drive-thru.
I mean, Ron, you can see him backstage. You could have waited.
Right? No, that's a
Hall of Fame member, right?
Who was that?
That's a Hall of Fame member.
This is how ass ends up on.
Well, it doesn't. But it doesn't matter if they're in the car or not.
It doesn't not.
Ron makes his own.
Yo, reality. If you're good, do this.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was crazy. I forgot about that.
Garbage. Trash.
We can't hear you.
Hey, bro, what you order, bro? What you eating?
There you go.
Y'all
can hear me?
Yes, you high.
Yeah.
Oh no, my fault. I was talking to a coworker. I got some oranges on me.
No, bad.
Pass me.
W
me one of those.
Welcome. Yo, reality.
Yeah, what's up?
You just gonna come up here with oranges and not share with everybody?
I know that.
I
bet you that.
I've been having a long day, man. I've been having a long day.
All right. I'm gonna be easy. I ain't gonna do that.
I got about 8 in there. I ain't gonna lie.
Pass that.
Yo, what's good, my man? How you feeling?
I've been doing good, man. I've been doing real good. Yesterday's show was top tier. Like Chill, Swiper, and Ron. That was one of the funniest episodes I've seen in a minute.
I appreciate it. You got the order wrong, but I appreciate it. Swiper, Ron, and Chill was an amazing show. That was an amazing show yesterday. Shout out.
That was top tier show.
Last I checked, they don't when they give Grammys out, they give them to all of us. They don't just give them to one of us. Do you
know if you win a Grammy, you become a permanent voting member?
That's so dope. Yes,
that's a part of the reason why Beyonce didn't win for Lemonade, because she had over 100 people on that project, so they all would have got a vote if she would have won for Lemonade. So that's part of the politics and all that stuff. Anyway, we can move on.
Reality, my man. Talk to me. I know you got something that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I got 2 things I want to say. Yesterday, I was watching a Tim Duncan video, and I found out he had 3,000 blocks and only had 15 goaltenders in a career.
One of the best rim protectors in NBA history. Yes, sir.
That was very impressive.
Yep.
And Chill, I'm still stuck on this Wilt Chamberlain thing from yesterday. That was insane.
What did he say yesterday? Because I
Oh,
heard
He said Wilt Chamberlain
was it that? Is it what
is
5% that he's a better passer than Jokic?
yeah.
Yes.
He said
Oh,
he's
Trill
as
said
good
that
of a
over a year
passer as
ago.
Jokic.
Yeah,
One more time, Moss, for the people in the cheap
Trill,
seats.
Trill been
What's
said
that got to
but
do with? It's still
So-
Delulu. It's still
so
Delulu.
my question
yeah,
is,
that's what I
what
don't even
makes
talk about. When it comes to that, I just ignore it now. It's like,
what makes
I'm
Wilt a
accepting
great
that Trill-
passer like Jason Kidd or Rondo?
What makes Wilt a great passer like Jason? What makes Joker a great passer like Jason Kidd?
What you mean?
I'm
He
asking
getting
a
the ball.
question.
He's setting up the offense.
he
He running all the plays.
That's the same thing that was when they were running the offense through Chamberlain.
It was not running the offense through Wilt Chamberlain like how they did with Joker. And Wilt Chamberlain's more of a scorer than a passer.
And which is incredible because how much of a passer he was and how good of a passer he was. I'm glad you brought
They
that
were
up.
talking
The fact
about
that-
him scoring.
Right, they were
scoring
talking about
so
him
much.
scoring. And then when he started passing
I'm
more,
sure Wilt
when he started passing more, and not just passing more, his ability to pass, how he was passing, throwing the ball behind his back, throwing the ball over. Because the reads that y'all talk about with Joker, it's not something basic. That's why y'all love Joker the way y'all love him as a passer. Because it's not something basic. It's not just not y'all.
You.
I love Joker. Yeah, I love Joker as a passer too. No question about that. But when you're talking about Joker as a distributor, it's not just bam or fake and bounce pass and stuff like that.
It's not Wilt Chamberlain passes.
No, I think it's deeper than that though. It's like Joker's
100%.
vision.
Right. And
Right.
say and with Joker's vision,
Mhm.
Joker sees the game moving forward. He's not just a reactionary passer.
Right.
Chamberlain wasn't a reactionary passer neither. He knew the game as well. Chamberlain knew you're going to be here, you're going to be there. That's why he's throwing the ball behind his head. Not only is he throwing the ball behind his head, his skill set, which came from him playing with the Harlem Globetrotters, enhanced that when he was in the NBA. And he showed how much of a passer he could be as a big man, how effective he could be as a passer, as a big man, which is why they won championships off the strength that he was doing that. So when I think about Joker as a passer, I think Joker
I think that was more like his defense more than his passing though. Because he was a great defender in his other years.
What I'm saying is when I think about Joker as a passer, I think about how wide open the game is. I think about the offense being more advanced. And if I'm putting Chamberlain in that kind of offense today, where I'm putting Chamberlain on the nail, and we got action like the triangle, or we got cross cuts, and we got guys dive into the basket. I think Chamberlain could make those passes because he was skilled to make those passes. The offense wasn't as advanced in 1965, 1966 as it is today. I think Chamberlain was, however. So because Chamberlain was, I feel like he could do the same thing that was going on back then.
I think it's just different tiers. Like I think Wilt was a great passer, but I don't think he's going to be like phenomenal as a passer as Joker or Magic Johnson or like those top tier passers.
That's what Chill said yesterday. He said.
I just don't think he's that high on the tier.
If I think he's a better passer than Joker, and y'all think that Joker is in the same category with Magic and Stockton and Jason Kidd,
for sure.
That's a you thing.
I don't think Joker make you feel bad about your take.
Number
that should
one,
make you feel bad
one,
about your take.
That
so what makes Joker?
That should make you take that take back.
John Stockton.
That should make you
So what makes John Stockton that much of a passer than Joker?
Can't go back to Stockton.
I don't think that Joker is in the same.
He's an assist merchant. He was an assist merchant.
So what does Joker have to do more to prove to you that he's up there?
And compare yourself. No, hold on. There's a tier of passers that includes Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic. There are very few players that you could even remotely put into that category. I don't care if they had the usage. Wilt Chamberlain is not in that list.
So Joker's a top passer all time, just from a skill set. That's what you're trying to tell me.
Beyond the skill set, he got the numbers to prove it.
Top five for sure. He's in the top five.
So
if you want to,
J Kidd is in that.
He's Wilt Chamberlain. Hold up. Would you chill? Would you agree that Wilt Chamberlain played in a pretty fast era?
Would you agree with that? Eras in NBA history.
Okay, perfect. So pace is not an issue in terms of generating assists. Okay, so here's something to chew on. Nikola Jokic averaged 8 assists per 36 minutes.
Sure.
Throughout his career. His career is not done. We're including some earlier years where he didn't have the ball very much. Wilt Chamberlain came in, he had the ball in his hands.
Sure.
Wilt Chamberlain had the ball to score all the time. Okay. Wilt averaged 3.5 assists per 36 minutes.
Sure.
So it's less than half. And he played in the faster era. So when we comparing these two, you lose me on that. If you put John Stockton in the same category as Nikola Jokic, you lose me on that too. Because
category above Jokic is what he has above.
That's just crazy.
That's crazy. Look, man, there is advantage generation. There is like levels of reading the offense and how you're creating. To me, the kind of shots that you create when you're a great passer are shots that could not be created without you, right? And that's what really gifted passers do. Guys like Malik Monk is a really good passer in today's NBA. He creates offense that just does not exist without him. James Harden is a great example, right? But then there are certain passers that are just functional passers in the offense where they're running a pick and roll, they're passing to the guy, or there's guys who are high usage guys where they just have the ball a lot and they're going to get 4 or 5 assists by virtue of having the basketball a lot, right? Now, I'm not trying to say that Wilt Chamberlain was a non-passer. Bill Russell is a better passer than him for me personally. So like Oscar is a better passer. He played with better passers, right? So I'm just like there's so many. I don't think Bill Russell was I don't think Wilt Chamberlain was ever the best passer in the league when he was playing. He might have been the best playmaker overall because you include the scoring dominance, but as a passer, no. And I cannot put him even. I cannot even put him close to Arvydas Sabonis. I don't even think I put him with Domantas Sabonis.
Is he a better passer than Shaq?
That's where it gets tricky because I think Shaq's a great passer. He's a phenomenal passer. Pau Gasol is a great passer. Marc Gasol is a great passer. These are all great passers. Jokic is above all those guys. Like he clears them easy, right? Jokic and Sabonis, Arvydas Sabonis, like as passers are on a very, very different level because
even Domas.
It's not just the behind the back or over the head stuff. It's not that. It's how they're processing the game and how they're processing the floor. And it's really like when you see a guy like LeBron James on the break, even when you saw, and this is not something that they just picked up. LeBron been like this since he was 16, 17 years old, right? He'd been passing things, and I'm like, whoa. The litmus test for me with a great passer is they make a pass that you yourself did not see with the vantage point of the television. Like they're seeing stuff that you're not seeing. They know where guys are. They're mapping the floor out. So a good passer, in my opinion, just a functional passer, someone who can function as a lead or secondary initiator. Joel Embiid is a good example of that, right? Where he's learned the basic reads. Jason Tatum, your man Jason Tatum, is another example of a guy who is advanced as a playmaker, but he's not a gifted playmaker. He's not James Harden, and he's never gonna be. That's not his game. So the best thing that someone like a Jason Tatum or a Kawhi Leonard, the guys like this that didn't have that coming in, is they just become functional, but they're never going to be able to see the floor 3 seconds ahead. They can at best see it 1 second ahead.
Well, so to double back on what you talked about initially about passing in terms of production, and Swiper and I just had this conversation yesterday. So I can't say if we're talking about production, because I think Chamberlain's production from when he wasn't passing the ball to when he actually led the league in assists, I think it almost tripled, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't go off of that. And the reason why I can't go off of that is because the same thing I said to Swiper yesterday, that Adrian Dantley averaged 30 a game for 6 straight years. Is Adrian Dantley a better scorer than Steph Curry? I'm not going to go that far. No, I'm not doing that. But when I think about Chamberlain, again, when I think about Chamberlain and what that offense looked like, and when I think about when he decided to pass more, because to your point, when you're talking about him scoring, it wasn't that he couldn't pass, it was that he didn't. It was because the offense was ran through him, and his primary role and his job was to score the basketball. So the misconception was that Chamberlain couldn't pass. When Chamberlain actually started passing, and not only did his production go up, actually the way he was passing, he displayed the skill set in order to show you how much better of a passer he was, how he could read defenses. Even in a more fast-paced era when you were getting up the floor, and him getting the ball out to the big guy, and him getting the ball out to guards, and getting up the floor, and getting the ball out to guys on the perimeter. He was doing that more when he decided to pass the ball more, which he always could do, but that wasn't my role. And it was obvious that we're not going to win that way. Once he started doing that, he wasn't just basic, where he was just dropping the ball on the floor to Hal Greer, where he was just slipping the ball to Wiley. No, he was actually getting guys more involved, like Jerry West, like Gail Goodrich, like why am I drawing a blank on, like Elgin Baylor? He was getting these guys more involved in the offense, making reads, not reactionary, but proactive, where he already saw the game going the way that it was supposed to. Now, as far as Joker, I will not argue that Joker is a fantastic passer. To say that Chamberlain is a better passer than Joker, or even to say Joker is a better passer than Chamberlain, that's not saying that Chamberlain is a better passer than a good player. Joker might be the best one of the best passing big men ever. What? But when I think about
he's one of the best passers.
He's not.
Right.
I
think when I watch Chamberlain, how proactive he is, and the jump that he made when he became more of a passer, as opposed to him leading up to that. And when it was quick too. It wasn't like it took.
But wouldn't you
years to
say
do that.
passing is a natural skill set though? Like you're
No,
assists
it
per
is
game.
not. No, it is
No,
not. There's
I'm
plenty
saying-
of guys who cannot pass.
No, you didn't hear what I said. A natural as in something you come into the league with. Like you have the ability
No.
to be an elite passer. Magic
No.
was already an elite passer. LeBron already an elite passer.
that was his
Bird
job.
already an elite passer.
That was their job. They already had that in
Their
their game.
job?
There's plenty of guys.
Well, it's their job because you're good at it. That's like being an elite scorer.
Well,
it's your
that's not
job
true.
in the
But
NBA
there's
because you're an
but
elite
there's
scorer.
plenty
your
of
whole
elite
life.
scorers who can't pass.
But
Plenty
hold
of
on.
them.
What advantage?
Would you say Larry Bird's a better passer than Magic Johnson?
Would I say that Bird is a better passer than Magic Johnson?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that's kind of how you going with the Wilt Chamberlain and Joker logic.
You know what's
No.
crazy? Hold on. You know how? Hold on. You know all the stuff about Jokic being like a really great passer, and a lot of people see him as a passer. You know he's 5% true shooting more efficient than Shaquille O'Neal on his career. Would you believe that if I told you that?
True shooting. I'm not a
Yeah.
true shooting fan, but okay, sure.
Even his field goal percentage
Right.
is higher on his career, which is crazy, right? Well, you have to consider the true shooting because free throw percentage counts, right?
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is overall, Jokic could also score as much as he wants. Who's
That's
stopping
true.
him? In a league where all the bigs are gone,
Right.
he could force doubles. It would be different if Wilt had like 6-8 championships and you could say, okay, he was the most dominant player in his era, which is absolutely unquestionable. And he played a style of basketball where he was scoring a lot. He didn't pass as much because he didn't have the teammates that were warranting the passing. But one of the biggest accusations against Wilt was that he didn't pass enough.
Right.
Right. And so this idea that, hey, when he was on a good day or when he chose to pass or when he was in a situation to pass, et cetera, like his last year in Philly or, 2 last years in Philly, he was like a great passer. It's like, yeah, I get it. And that's the reason we can even have a conversation about him versus Shaq as passers, because Shaq's a fantastic passer. But no one's ever put Shaq and Magic Johnson as passers in the same
I had
conversation.
never heard Wilt
Yeah, that's
Chamberlain.
just different tiers right
I won't argue. I won't argue that. But to your point about Joker being able to score, well, Joker wasn't the prototype. Chamberlain was the prototype, and they used him specifically as that. And the reason why we didn't know that he could pass because he didn't have to. He was a big guy who played around the rim. Not only did he play around the rim, he was that force. Joker isn't that. Joker wasn't that force initially because we had seen so many other big guys. Chamberlain is the prototype. Chamberlain was the mold.
Can you say that again?
Chamberlain was the prototype. Chamberlain was the mold. So Chamberlain was the guy who they used around the basket. So his ability to pass, we didn't know about that because that didn't have to be part of his game. Only to find out.
You keep bringing up knowing stuff. Joker walked. Go ahead, Mark, because your hand's been up for a minute. Go ahead.
No, you can finish. I'm just because I don't want.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you because I don't want to take your time.
No, you can go. I'll go after you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Not too polite.
When you chill, this is to me when you dig into your point and you just do it just because you just want to stay in your point. And I think logic and reason is clearly saying that all the stuff you're saying is fine, but Joker literally came into the league and they built something around him that has not existed. There has never been a point center to this degree in NBA history because you could never have a passer to this degree. Bill Walton was a better passer for most people than Wilt Chamberlain. I honestly, genuinely never heard.
Now, let me ask you a question. I want you to keep
Rest
going,
in
Sniper.
peace.
I want you to I want you to stay on.
I wanted to talk about
Was he a better passer or more willing passer? Because those
No,
two things
That's
are not
better.
crazy.
Yeah, he was that's what I mean about like answering it. He was a better passer.
okay.
Like when you bring up this stuff sometimes, like even Bill Russell. Remember, Bill Russell was the one that invented the rebound pass. Like he would literally get the ball. Like, yeah, well, I'm saying it's the rebound,
the tip out,
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
outlet, but like you know what I mean. I'm just calling it what it was at the time. Like,
yeah.
when he would grab the ball and then he literally would throw it ahead. It wasn't Wilt.
And
Like
one motion.
Russell was considered a better passer. Walton was always considered a better passer. I have never heard in my life Wilt Chamberlain considered one of the greatest passers ever by anyone because that's just not what he was. And then on top of that, literally when Jokic stepped into the league, he was the first. I think he was the first 20. He's the first 20, 10, and 7 player in his career. His first ever elite year, he averaged 20, 10, and 7 or whatever else it was. And then he averaged 8.3 assists, 7.8 assists, 9.8 assists, and then 9 assists again. Joker throws more pass, and that's the other thing, Chill. I think that you're somewhat missing. Joker averages over 101 passes per game. I think the last like 4 years.
Sure.
There is
Well,
no one else.
and I'm
But
glad you brought that part.
That's not just allowing though. No one else had that ability to be the center. No, what? Go ahead.
I'm not saying that, Swiper, which goes back to my original point where the offense is a lot different, which would explain why he's able to pass.
No, but chill. You're
Do
missing
you think
what I'm saying.
Wilt be able to pass like how Joker does nowadays in the same system he was in?
But
I do think that. To be honest, yes,
we're revising history here because Wilt Chamberlain was doubled very often.
Right.
Very often. Sometimes triple teamed. I've watched some of the tape on him. If he was this great passer that you're presenting him as, that's an easy pass. That's an easy cut. Unless you're telling me his teammates didn't have legs and they couldn't cut without the basketball.
He probably had more chips too.
And he would have had more championships. He was a very ball dominant. I mean, honestly, the criticism that I heard growing up, again, I'm not necessarily of the era of Wilt Chamberlain, but my dad was. He referred to him as a black hole. Referred to him as a black hole on offense, and a lot of people did. So I understand, like, you bringing up the fact that Wilt Chamberlain was a better passer than he's credited for, and that's a take I can get behind. You know, because there are certain guys where their role pretty much predicates like a Joel Embiid. I think a Joel Embiid is a better passer than he's been given credit for because of his role. But no one in the world should ever compare Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic as passers because they're just not the same. And what I'm saying is when you have the basketball a lot and you are such a dominant scoring threat, there's no way to separate your passing and your scoring. And Jokic is actually guarded as a passer, which means teams are absolutely reluctant to double team him because the minute, and that's a threat. It makes everybody else a threat. It also makes him a threat. So the passing equation cannot be separated from the scoring equation. And a good example of that is a Ricky Rubio or a Rajon Rondo, right? Really good passers, but the lack of scoring makes them less good.
And Chill, to finish that point, what do you think it means that Joker is averaging more passes per game now than any player, including guards, including wings in the NBA for the last several seasons? Like, what would that what does that mean for you that a player has that much control, that much trust on that low of a turnover percentage as well? Like, what does that mean for you that Jokic has that much control as a passer more than anybody in the league?
It means that one, it means that he's a damn good passer. Two, the offense that he's running enhances his passing ability. Three, the fact that he's playing the way he played as a Euro really enhances his game. So that's what it means for me.
We've had Euro bigs in the league before.
Right. We did have Euro bigs in the league before.
Marcus Gasol is Spanish.
I don't think that we've had Euro bigs in the league that have been in the type of offense. I mean, the triangle offense was similar, but I don't think Pau Gasol.
We had 3-pointers before Steph Curry, though.
I don't think.
Why didn't nobody ever build their offense like that?
Dennis Rodman is an underrated passer.
Wait, one more time.
We had 3-pointers before Steph Curry came into the league, but why did the Warriors build such a 3-point oriented offense around Steph Curry?
It was actually working. It was actually working in Phoenix. They just didn't win.
But they didn't have Steph though.
Okay, sure. I know your point. You're saying the reason why they built it around him because he was so good. I'm not saying that
generational. There's never been anything.
I'm not arguing that because
if Wilt did exist.
I'm not arguing that. I'm using the same. I could use the same logic with Wilt when Wilt started passing.
Wilt didn't do it.
100%.
They didn't do it.
That's how they ended up winning.
Can we
Wilt Chamberlain
ended up winning the NBA championship
because
he started doing it more. For that reason, right
there.
No.
We're for sure on that pin, but it's still he wasn't Steph Curry, and he was in Denver. I know who he was. I'm very familiar with him. But I'm saying like
him. But there's an element of evolution within the game, right? It takes brick 1 to get to brick 2, gets to brick 3, and no, I'm not talking about Russell Westbrook. I'm sorry. Okay, but what I'm trying to say, Mars got the joke. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that a Reggie Miller or a Mohamed Abdul-Rauf or Steve Kerr, the great shooters, they're all really great shooters.
Right.
I don't think that they lived in an era where teams were willing to live with that. And you cannot completely credit Steph Curry as like, that's the thing. That's the only thing that created it. His greatness.
There was a moment in time in 13-14 where things were like this, and then everything literally went from here. It's like the Industrial Revolution was Steph. Went to here, and then it went here, like immediately over the next 10
and he
years.
was in the league since 2009, and there was a debate in 2012 whether he was better than Monte Ellis. I said
that's
Ellis
right.
before you said
Right.
Ellis. I meant Monta Ellis. So what I'm trying to say is that, look, we can revise history and say, Steph just did it by himself, but there was a big momentum push.
I don't think we're saying
I don't
that.
think he's saying Steph did it by himself. He's just saying Steph changed the game.
Yeah, he
That's
was
all
the
he's saying.
he was the engine behind the change.
I
in
think the
league.
Warriors changed
Like
the game,
Chamberlain.
and I think Steph, Draymond, and Clay
passing standpoint,
are a huge part of that. You
So if
are
you put
not.
Gilbert Arenas in that same system, is it going to be the same way with the Warriors?
No,
Like any good
that's
three-point
why-
shooting guard besides Steph Curry,
Brandon
they going to do
Roy.
what Steph Curry did?
No,
That's why they-
That shit's
he's
ridiculous to say.
no,
That's why
but
they
he
came off
he is 100% the best at that, right?
Right.
But there are other players that are 90%, 80%, 70% at that.
But who's going to do what Steph did? That's what makes the difference, because it's Steph Curry and,
Well, and then
no other
too,
shooters.
we had Wilt, you had Bill Russell, you had Bill Walton, and then you had Vlade Divac, you had Brad Miller, and then you had multiple players, Chris Webber. There were bigs
Webber.
that were like that. And then you kept going. And then you had Marc Gasol in the 12-14 era.
Started with
Al
Chamberlain,
Gasol.
though. All
No,
of this
but
stuff
that,
started
I'm,
with
no, I'm
Chamberlain.
It started,
Russell,
but
Russell,
change started
and
with Wilt.
Wilt, 1,000%.
I'm not
But
Wilt.
what I'm
Nope.
saying is, Wilt Chamberlain was the start. So then you got to start with Steve Kerr and these other players. But then there is a seminal moment where one player came in the league and was so much better at it than everybody else. The entire NBA changed. And I'm saying that was Steph, and then it was Joker in 2018 is what I'm saying. So that all happened. That all happened because you had these literal generational talents that were able to manifest something that existed. It did start in the 60s and all that. It existed, but it didn't become this boom and this engine and like, oh, snap. If you don't have a big, that's a floor spacer. That was 2012-14 with the Ryan Anderson contract and all that. But if you don't have a big that can pass, that can be a connector, that can do DHOs, that can be a secondary, playmaker, all that stuff, you're not winning.
If Damian Lillard
so
was in Golden State, hold on. If Damian Lillard was in Golden State, do they have 3 championships?
No.
2 championships?
No.
1
No.
championship?
No.
They have no championships. According to you,
no.
the gap between Damian Lillard and Steph Curry is 4 championships.
Yes.
Damian Lillard
Steph
was
Curry is
never
that
as good
good.
as Steph Curry, even at
Zero
his apex.
championships.
Steph Curry is that good.
Yeah, and he's an on-ball player.
I
Damian
never
Lillard was
bought into that. I never
That's
bought into
crazy.
that. If you swipe out Damian Lillard and Steph, they still rolling. I never.
They
I would
win.
never
They win in
no.
17 and 18.
No, I'm not.
So wait, if you swap out
Kevin
Michael
Durant.
Jordan and Alex English, is
Yeah,
Alex
that's what
English
I'm saying.
winning
He was
6
the
championships?
I could win. I could
You
win
are
with
not
Kevin
comparing
Durant.
Alex
Okay.
English.
So why would you?
No, I
say-
agree.
Damian
I
Lillard
agree.
with
I
his
agree with those
contract.
No, I said Michael Jordan and Alex
Yeah,
English.
no,
Well,
I
he's
get
saying
it, but the
the four-
gap
he's saying
between
the four
those two is
championship, that's just
way
the engine.
larger.
I'm just
But
taking
they're
that
both great
between the two
shooters. I mean, but they're both
Fellas,
great
fellas,
scorers, just like
we're
Curry
having
and
we're
Duncan.
having three different conversations right now.
Wait. Let's stay there real quick, and I'll butt back out of this. I'm saying, Pin, you're telling me that Damian Lillard doesn't even win 17 and 18.
I didn't say that.
Well,
I'm the one who
He's
brought
the
up.
one who asked the question. Yeah, he's the one who asked the
Okay,
question.
so
I'm
swipe
asking
it.
the
I was
question.
just
No, I don't think
17
because people are
17, 18
acting
he
like.
wins.
Oh no, you know what, my fault. Yeah, he can win 17, 18. Yeah. With the same kind of team, he can win
So I
17.
wanted to
Two
clear
champions.
that. I
Yeah,
wanted to
my
clear
fault.
that.
They
I
don't
forgot about
beat
those
him.
other two.
Chill. You're saying
Yeah,
that
maybe
in
Houston,
17 and 18 they
Yeah.
don't win.
I don't think we get
Oh,
to
you
17
said
and 18.
not beating Houston, Mark.
Maybe.
in
Yeah,
18.
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I
Oh, I
think
forgot about the Houston
I mean,
team.
the whole conversation. I mean, KD joined the Warriors because he liked what they had going on and because they were that good. So, I mean, if the Warriors aren't in the finals in 15 and 16, does KD still join them? Like that's why I don't get the point of hypothetical. Like, oh, they would have won if KD went.
Okay.
The reason why KD went is because Steph Curry was.
Okay,
That's
I
all
can
fair.
agree with that part, Mars. I can. But let's just say, just for the sake of this hypothetical,
They lose to
argument,
Houston
I
in
mean-
18. They lose to Houston.
Okay, so they win, but they win 17 though.
They go 17. They can get 17. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. My bad. Joe.
Because Dame's from the area. That was always the question in my mind. Is like, hey, like if he had been there, and it's again, like I think we sometimes we hold losing against guys who are in the wrong situation far too often. Dame was in Portland. CJ McCollum's his best teammate, right? We don't give enough credit to guys who succeed despite the situation.
But he's an
Right.
all-NBA player. There's a difference between an all-NBA
Fellas,
player.
we
and Steph Curry,
gotta.
I know we gotta
right
move
now.
on real quick, but
We gotta move on.
Swiper made a real good point about.
I did. I
that-
wanted to get to it. I want some credit sometimes, Ron. Go ahead, Chill.
Swiper made a real good point about the fact of enhancing something where it was this and then this one person showed up and then it became this. Well, can't that be the same logic with Chamberlain where Chamberlain, you need to start passing more. We already know that you can do this, but in order for us to win, you got to get off the basketball more. Only to find out that, wow, this guy is a much better passer than what we actually thought. So
'Cause you
much
thought
so
he couldn't
that we
pass.
went. So much so that we win the NBA championship with him doing this. And it's not just from a production standpoint, because we've already deaded the logic about production. Just because you produce more, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're better.
Chill, Jokic invented a pass within the last 2 years. That little when he gets the ball at the free throw line, that little lob pass to Aaron Gordon, like they literally built that in based off his skill set. That because he's going to make 65% of his floaters, you're more than likely coming up. And if you come up at all, he's throwing that lob to AG. That's literally their closing play in the fourth quarter. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's just levels to this. Like Jokic has this like a just supernatural ability as a passer, similar to LeBron and Magic in them. But Wilt was also a generational scorer, rebounder, defender. They're just things that he did that just made him set apart from everybody. Passing is just into one of them.
Scoring and defense would be more impactful than his passing, though. They'll probably win a championship over those two than his passing.
And he didn't win a championship until what, Chill? When did
I think in 67 he won it.
But what happened?
When he started passing more.
But what happened?
Shooting.
Okay, but what happened though? What really happened?
Well, I mean, there's a number of different things that
they
happened.
asked him to play like Bill Russell. That's what happened.
But who was on the team when he won?
What, Hal Greer?
Hal Greer was on the team. Cunningham was on the team when he won.
Chet Walker.
Was on the team when he won.
They were stacked. Right. Yeah, and then when they won, and then he won the last one. Like he was, he wasn't a role player, but he was like Tim Duncan.
The point is even with those guys, just because you got a bomb squad does not necessarily mean that you're going to win. We need you
in the
to
60s?
play different. Yes.
Well, yeah, he had a bomb squad in 69 and lost. So I mean,
right, just because you got a bomb squad does not mean that you're going to
win. Who they lose to?
They lost to the
Celtics.
I mean,
the bomb squad. Two bomb squads.
Yeah, at that point, Sam Jones that was his last year of his career. Bill Russell's last year of his career.
They were over.
All right.
No,
we got You're
right.
We got to move on. Reality, my man. Appreciate you for coming up. One more thing before you get up out of here.
You said one more thing?
Yeah. What's your take on Russell Westbrook to Denver?
Great six man.
Great six man.
Great six man for the team.
Reality, you're just a great man in general. All right.
No, he's wrong. He just saying that so you can keep pulling him up first.
What you mean? What's wrong?
We're gonna keep get you up out of here.
Thank you for saying that, because if you hadn't said that, we'd be on stuck on Russell Westbrook for the next 2 hours.
Yo, appreciate you for coming through though. Hopefully you can pull up next Friday or the following Friday, whenever. Appreciate you for coming through, my man.
Enjoy your oranges.
Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Reality up here holding it down for the Hall of Famers. Salute to him. And while we at it, let's go ahead and shout out the other Hall of Famers. I got my man Mikhail. I got Cobra, son of Raditz. Big shout out to him. Also got Dorian Clayton. And last but not least, Reality. Big shout out to them. Oh, and my other guy too. Big shout out to all of y'all. Salute to the Hall of Fame members. For real. We got super chats, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into them. Kendall Daniels. Big shout out to Kendall Daniels. We got more super chats. Let's go ahead and get into this. I also got a segment where we're going to go ahead and tell you guys the ceiling and the floor of different draft prospects right now, based on what we've seen in Summer League and what we believe that they'll pan out to be. But first, we're going to dive into these super chats, and then we'll get over to that. ZKJ said Denver will be a threat if they get to play against playing teams, 8th seed and teams with injuries again. Can't write off Great Hope Jokic. Y'all couldn't wait to get on your knees in 2023. OKC, Dallas, and Minnesota are better.
Mars, you still think people that Jokic is like just a great white hope, and that's why he's overhyped?
He's not the great white hope.
No, I'm saying, do you think people still
keep a flag?
No.
And for the record,
I don't think he'll get that love. He's not.
Just to put this out there, you can never be the great white hope and be non-North American.
Yeah, he's not.
That will never happen. You can't even be Canadian and be the great white hope. You got to be American.
And for the record, that Dallas thing, let's be clear about one thing. When Dallas saw Minnesota drop Denver, they were like,
Wait,
I'm not talking about it anymore.
The whole Great White Hope thing that started from the boxing, right? Was that Jack Johnson or Joe Louis? Was Jack Johnson?
No, it was Joe Louis.
It was Joe Louis.
Mhm.
Wasn't the Great White Hope dude? Wasn't he from England?
Yeah, he was. Oh, he's Italian, I believe. It
Italian
was
or something?
Rocky how you say it?
Marciano.
Oh, it was
Marciano,
Rocky
yeah.
Marciano. Oh, that was but Rocky Marciano, he was from America, though, right? He
Yeah.
was just Italian.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
never mind. Okay.
49-0.
Yeah, you could be
Okay.
Italian
He was cold,
American.
but
You
he
could
was- but he
be
was
Irish
good.
Yeah,
American.
but you just
you
I
gotta be
got you,
American.
Pin. Yeah, I got you,
Undefeated.
Pin. I didn't know that was Rocky Marciano. I thought it was the English dude. Okay, my bad.
MP13 said, everyone loves Russ until you get to the playoffs and you are playing 4 versus 5 on offense because they are ignoring him and he's hitting the side of the backboard on corner threes and missing open layups.
Trying to tell you, you're gonna be pissed when it happens,
But-
but am I still gonna be biased?
But when OKC had
Yes.
that in Andre Roberson in 16, people expected them to win a chip.
Mm. By the way, since you brought up the boxing, did you see that Mayweather was number 25 on the 100 list?
I was pissed about that whole list, Rob. I don't even want to get into that shit, bro. That had me so mad. That list had me so mad. I'm actually gonna do a stream about that list.
50-0, 25.
Oh, that shit had me mad. And I don't even
One more time,
I don't
Swiper.
even
Did you
like
say 50
Floyd
and what?
Mayweather.
50-0.
That means that he never
Undefeated.
lost. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Undefeated. Beat everybody.
He had 50 fights and he didn't lose one of them. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Beat everybody.
Give me a break.
Yo,
man.
I don't even like Floyd Mayweather, bro. But I'm like, that's so disrespectful. And then to have a dude that
Lose
drives
one time.
cars ahead of him,
Lewis Hamilton? Come on, bro. Respect Lewis, though.
I respect it, but
Yo,
No, he's not even an athlete, right? He's not even an athlete.
Honestly, I'm just put this out there
Don't make me
to
get
every
into this.
content creator. I know all of us are content creators. The more fuel, the more you talk about these things, the more they become crazy. Okay. If you want these lists to get more reasonable and less stupid, stop talking about it, because every time you shout it out, everyone's gonna go click on it. Everyone makes ad money. You make ad money. The whole problem cycles, right?
well,
If you just
Pin,
keep talking about it, it's gonna
Yeah.
be worse.
We just had a
right?
whole
So-
conversation.
Pin, I
Russell
do
Westbrook gonna be-
I do hear that, Pin. I get what
It's a
you're
good
saying.
conversation.
My thing is this. That's what content's all about. I'm supposed
Right.
to respond to, right? But hold on, real quick. Let me get this off. I can disagree with the list and not like it, but I don't feel like I got the right to tell people don't make the list. You know what I'm saying? That's their opinion. I make my list and I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? And
No, that's
people
fine.
hate my list. You know, like Mar said earlier, I put Josh
Bro.
Hart in front of SGA. You know what I'm saying? For the playoff performance.
This is all
Fellas,
about.
we-
This is
we-
all
we-
about
I got
content.
I got a lot of super chats, so I'm trying to get
let's
to
go.
this so we can get to our list.
Money.
We make a
MP13
list today,
said. MP13 said, I'm convinced people are just willingly ignoring Russ in the postseason the last few years for this idealistic, hypothetically, where Russ fits into some perfect role when he's never done that before.
Idealistic,
13 of
hypothetically,
50.
idealistic, hypothetical. Okay.
He was
Yeah,
13
that's
of 50 in
I
last
was-
year's playoffs. Just smoked that.
I was spashed out reading that for a second.
Yeah, I mean, what's
Swiper,
what's
can
that?
you have
26%?
Swiper, can you have something be
Close enough.
ideal and be hypothetical at the same time?
No,
You can't.
I mean it's you can. I think the sentence. I just think the sentence structure could have been different. I mean, it could have been just said like it said idealistically, hypothetically, or whatever. I just.
What?
I mean, the grammar may have been wrong, but the point was right.
No, I get it.
King OJ said, with all this Russ hate, you would think Damo was here.
Facts.
I wish Damo was here so you could have kept it real with me.
Kept it real with you.
Oh yeah,
Both
he
of
would have
y'all
been
lied.
right there with you. Yeah, for
Both of
sure.
y'all prejudiced.
Like, why y'all up here pretending like Russ is somebody he's not? Like he can do these things.
While you up here
Ron-
pretending like Russ is garbage. You hate Russ. I'm sick of you, Ox.
He
When
is
it comes to
garbage.
Russ, I'm sick of you,
Respectfully-
Ox. No,
respectfully,
he is
he's
not.
ass.
He is
Bro,
not
Russ
garbage.
another better passer than Wilt. Yeah,
But
Russ
wait,
is another
this is the thing though, chill. All I'm trying to say is this. Russ may be a good
Stand
basketball
with
player.
When I see
Russ
you, Mike, it's on
Russ
sight,
Russ is a good
winning.
basketball player. He's just not a fit for a winning basketball
for anybody.
team.
For according to you, for anybody.
Because Ron talking about don't change. It's like, well, if he doesn't change, they're not going to win. And he's been this for 15 years, so he's not. You know, what
I
I'm saying?
never said Denver was going to
No.
win.
Ron, we need you to stay calm and read the super chats, bro.
never
We
said
can't
Denver was
have you.
gonna
win. Hey,
acting
Ox,
like
I'm
we
throwing
can't
him
have
off
you crashing
nigga,
out
man.
about
I'm
Russell
throwing him
Westbrook
off-
for the next
That's
20
my
minutes.
song, Ox. Music Soul Child, don't change. That's my song, bro. That's my song,
yeah.
bro.
We need to protect Ron right now.
Oh, yeah.
Russell Westbrook is a very good player. Let's move on.
Don't lie to him. He needs this, Pin. He needs this.
I want to encourage
Don't lie
everybody
to
to
him.
like the video. If you haven't liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Shout out to all of our subscribers and shout out all of our members. I got a couple new members. Nook became a member. Shout out Nook. And also, you know the name. The Tribe One also became a new member. He re-upped his membership. Shout out to the Tribe One and shout out to Nook.
What did
Also,
LA
too,
Flight say down there? I can't read that, Ron. What does the
He
LA
said
Flight
since
say
he's
down
not a
there?
fit for a winning team, he should play for the Kings. He would actually, he would probably get love and sack though. We got a good fan base.
Why can't you read that? Where your glasses at, Swipe?
He just
Nah,
wanted me to read it.
I couldn't see it.
He wanted to be ahead.
also,
he out here crying because people calling him Russell Westbrook and he hitting the side of the backboard. Like, accept it. You're a bum.
couple updates for everybody in case you didn't hear it earlier. PCL starts July 24th, next Wednesday. Be sure to tap in. The schedule will be released here very soon, so you guys keep your eye out for that. Also, on Monday, we won't be here. Not because we don't want to be here, but because we're working on some great things for you guys. So we're taking a day off, so the rest of the year, we can have a productive year and a great year. So we will see you again on Tuesday. If you miss us, just go back and watch an old episode when something wild happened. I don't know. Well, we'll drop an episode, some good episodes, some classic episodes for you guys.
2 days ago? So
what is it
Wednesday,
Nope.
July 17th?
Don't watch that one.
What is it called, Swiper?
Wednesday, July 17th.
HR meeting. That's what we
HR
have?
meeting, yeah, HR meeting. That's what it sounds like to me. When you suspend all external output, internal review time.
We shut down today. We have an HR meeting.
D Bell sent through a super chat. He said, "Giving Jokic credit for a lob is wild. The game is totally different. Every era plays different. Jokic is a great passer. Is a great passing big. Is a great passer. Bigs from the past weren't asked to pass, even if they could. Got to give context."
That's like saying don't give David Thompson credit for basically igniting the alley-oop in the ABA, given that that was a part of the reason why like his name got to be Skywalker. Like he was literally like the best at it from the guard position that existed at the time. So like that's just what happens when you set the floor for something, you get known for something, but whatever.
I feel like people who say that didn't watch the 60s play basketball. The offenses ran through the bigs. Like, I don't know. The only team that didn't run through the big typically is the Lakers and the Cincinnati Royals. Everyone else ran through the bigs. So it's the way the Nuggets play is actually pretty similar. It's more similar to the way Wilt Chamberlain was being used than I think you care to admit. Jokic is just better. But what can I expect when people don't actually watch these games? The era was different. Like, you don't know how the era was different.
Mars needs his own merch. Jokic better.
Facts. Jokic better.
He says it all the time.
Like, Jokic better. Like, it's cool. He better.
Yo, Mike saying that he told Buddy that Ron purposely snubbed him from the PCL. You know what, Mike? In front of all 1,000 people that's in here and all the 10 to 15,000 people that's gonna watch this video, you know what, Mike? You're in the PCL now, buddy. You got it. You want it, you got it. No, Mike. Come on. Hey, DM me on Instagram or hit up the Players Choice account, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Mike, you are in the PCL now. I'm telling you right now, you're in the PCL.
Ron knowing he can say this because he knows Mike won't show up is amazing.
I'm telling everybody right now, Mike, you have been invited to the PCL, you personally.
We're putting you on, Mike. We're putting you on, Mike.
Now you get a chance to come and talk in caps. Mike, what's up? What's up, Mike?
Easy.
I like that we got our topics and stuff already for PCL locked and loaded. It's good.
Hey, all right, Mike, ready? Come on, man. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Hey, also, PlayersChoiceMerch.com. Go take it light. All right. Y'all see the new gear.
So Chill gets a quote. Wow.
What's the phrasing? Yeah, what's the phrasing again?
What we supposed to say? Jokic better? Y'all want to put that on it? So you
I mean
I hear that way more than that slogan. What's that slogan again?
Take it light, but take it.
What's that? What does that mean, Chill?
Exactly that.
It's like the 5th time you asked that, Swiper.
Twice.
And not only is it the 5th time.
All right, I gotta go. I'll see y'all later.
It's the same question. No, Io, be easy, brother.
Merry Christmas.
Oh shit.
Merry Christmas.
All right. I got one more super chat, and we're gonna move into this segment. Justo11 said, "Does a player develop faster if they go to the G League or a 12 to 15 man who practices with the starters? This stems from where people think Bronny should go."
I'm an advocate, to be honest with you. I hate the fact that you guys look at I don't mean you guys in particular. I hate the fact that people look at the G League like a demotion. The G League is actually a place where you're supposed to develop, where you're supposed to get better. They do it in the major leagues all the time, where they send guys down to AA or AAA to get their swing sharper, right? Where they got guys, pitchers down there. I don't understand why they don't use the G League more. The G League kind of seems like a demotion when in reality it's a developmental league. I don't understand why they don't use it more than they do.
Well, even before like Gatorade and stuff came in, it was literally called the D League, the developmental league.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
The issue is
most
a
of those guys that are like the 12, 15, don't they usually play with the
they'll be down there, yeah. But the issue is until recently, most teams didn't use the G League correctly. Like they didn't. If the G League team is playing a different brand of basketball than the NBA affiliate, you're not developing correctly. Like you have to be running a similar brand of basketball so that the guys working on their game for the G League are going to come into a system that they're already aware of, the same plays, the same sets, the same defensive philosophy, all of those things. But before, like a couple years ago, it wasn't like that. But now, like teams are actually starting to have assistant coaches brought up from the G League, and now they're on the main team's bench, and they're actually building with the G League affiliate for the NBA team. Before it was just you just got another team, and we're just gonna play however we want to play. That was
it also helps when the arenas are close together, right?
Yeah, well, remember, every team didn't used to have one. Like, remember there used to be a team, and you like the Reno Bighorns was for the Kings, the Grizzlies, and
the Raptors had the Erie Bayhawks.
And another team. You know what I'm saying? They didn't.
It took a while for owners to get into it.
Yep.
Yeah. Like the Bakersfield team was for the Lakers and for like the Suns and another team too. You know,
the Nuggets used to send people to Chicago to the Bulls team.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
it's a completely different thing. Honestly, if you're playing in the G League, you're going to get more reps, obviously, and you're playing against a different level of competition. And if you're not in the G League, I think a lot of guys don't want to go down to the G League because they do view it as a demotion because it's not the same arenas. It's smaller arenas. You're playing in front of smaller crowds and stuff. But honestly, it's very valuable. And the guys who take the G League, like Pascal Siakam is a guy in his rookie year where he took the G League really seriously. I think he went out and won a championship with the G League team, and then he ends up like becoming a real rotation piece the next year. So I think every young kid needs to take that as an opportunity as opposed to a demotion, and they'll be much better off for it.
They did the same thing with Avery Bradley with the Celtics. He went down to the G League and got super sharp, never went back.
I'd rather play than not play.
My only thing with the G League, well, just with NBA, just NBA basketball culture in general, is like, so Chill, you brought up baseball. Baseball actually takes time to develop their prospects. You don't just get drafted. Shout out to Paul King because he is
what 4 months? 4 months in G League?
Yeah.
Not
so
even that.
He got drafted with the #1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Played like couple months in the minors, and he got immediately moved up.
And all-star.
I think he's leading the majors in strikeouts as a rookie.
It's something like that. He's going ridiculous.
He about to get dumb money.
Yeah,
but that doesn't happen in baseball. Usually, you take 4 to 5 years in the minor leagues to get moved up. I think
unless you're exceptional, unless you're ridiculous.
And that's rare.
Latest White, good to talk to you, brother.
I'll see y'all HR meeting on Monday, apparently. All right, see y'all.
Striper, you're not gonna be there, and you ain't gonna be here on Thursday and Friday.
Excuse me.
But like so in baseball, they take time to groom their prospects. They don't just throw them out there just to get wrecked and mess up their confidence. In basketball, it's like, okay, we drafted you with a lottery pick. Go out there. We need something from you right now. Go out there and immediately save our franchise. I just think it's almost disingenuous to expect to put so much burden on a 19-year-old shoulder, 18-year-old, 20-year-old.
To your point, Mars, when you talked about if you play in the same way in the NBA as you playing in your G League, a guy like Wiseman could have really benefited from going to the G League if they're actually developing him. He could have really benefited from that and went down there, played for a little while, got the pro game understood how fast it was, understood the physicality of it, not necessarily in the NBA right from the beginning. And I think that would have helped him as opposed to throwing him out there right from the beginning. He clearly doesn't know what he's doing. It's obvious that he did.
I think there's a lot of prospects out there that are going to take this G League thing the wrong way. And if you're going to take it the right way, you're going to be successful, right? I've seen a guy, 57th overall pick from the NBA Africa Academy, Ulrich Chamberlain. He has been a revelation for me in the G League. He's making passes and reads. He's so athletic. He's blocking shots. He's actually really good as a passer for someone who picked up the game so late.
Better than Wilt?
Yes. No, he's not. But he's a very raw athlete. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, yo, in a draft this week, this guy went 57th because Clutch hit him. But he's been so good. And after the game, he's talking about how the coaches are like his parents. He's like, everyone's trying to help me. He's giving credit to all his coaches. I'm like, this guy's going to be very successful because he has the right mentality about this. He's not going to take a G League stint as a demotion. He's going to take it as an opportunity. He's taking everything as an opportunity. He's working his butt off in summer league. That's the recipe for success. A lot of these dudes, they come in with mad ego because they're gassed up from the AAU circuit. They're gassed up from college basketball. They've been the man on campus. They're like, G League, I'm not a scrub. It's like, no, bro, you got to take this as an opportunity, but they're not going to take it as an opportunity. They're going to fail. So when we say James Wiseman could have benefited, I don't know what James Wiseman's mentality is when it comes to basketball. I don't know if he gassed himself up being the number 2 pick. I think a lot of players do. I know Marvin Bagley, that situation, I'm pretty sure if Ox was up here, he could speak on that. His dad was like really petitioning and he's not being used right. And that's the problem when you're a high lottery pick, is everyone makes excuses for you. They're like, oh, he wasn't in the right situation. He's not being used correctly and blah. But it's like maybe you're not that good. Maybe this adjustment up to this level, you're just not that good. Maybe Killian Hayes is not some prospect that's being discriminated against and not being used properly. Maybe you just
Mars,
not
you say that all the time, Mars. You say that all the time that guys aren't that good.
Respect Killian Hayes.
So maybe that might be the case with him. Maybe he just isn't that good. And playing in the
development. Tell you about
that. But that's why when you're scouting these players in the draft, you gotta monitor who their circle is. You gotta monitor who their trainer is, who their parents are, who their friends are. Because if you're telling them, you're the coach, you're the assistant coach, you're saying you need to go down to the G League, you have to work on your jump shot, your game is not fast enough, your shot's not fast enough. We need to tweak it. We need to adjust it. We need you to get eight hours, every week of shooting practice. Right. And you got his friend, his trainer, being like, "Nah, they're wrong. You too good. You are never going to be successful." So your surrounding, your mentality matters more to me than your G League. But the G League is a vital tool. Is a vital tool when used correctly.
How many kids don't get recruited just because of their parents?
Absolutely.
You like a coach will see some film, hear word of mouth, like, oh man, this kid got a game. They pull up to the game and then they see mom or dad in the stands, cussing them out, talking about put my son back in the game or yelling at the ref. They're like, all right, we cool. There's 1,000 of these kids out in America. I'm not finna deal with that.
But that's exactly it. When you draft a kid, you're drafting his family and his friends into your circle as well. That's your locker room. That's sanctity. He cannot be a disgruntled, person sitting at the end of the bench. There's a lot of coaches when they're recruiting at the high school level, AAU level, 2 things they're looking for is where do you sit on the bench and how do you communicate when you're on the bench? And number 2, how quickly do your teammates come to pick you up when you fall down? That to me is everything with the vibe. Because when you bring in a disgruntled guy into your team, let's say he's a high-ranked draft prospect, whatever, you draft him 7th overall. Next thing you know, his friends, his family, his agent, his team, his deal, everybody around him is now a part of your locker room, which means if he decides to leak some shit that went on behind the scenes to them and they got big lips and they just they're just like kind of like yapping off whatever, now you got a problem. Now you got leaks. Now you got Woj and stuff, right? So I think that's a really major issue, and you just gotta have the right mentality to be successful, and that starts with humility. That starts with understanding I'm 19 years old. I'm not that good right now. I need to be humble and take this opportunity.
All right, fellas. I got a few prospects for you guys. They're currently playing in Summer League. We've seen them play a little bit. I need you guys to tell me what you project that they will be in the NBA. Ceiling, floor. You can even tell me so much as this player would be a 3-time all defensive player. You could say this player would be a 7-time All-Star. You could say that's a future Hall of Famer. You say maybe this dude will win 4 MVPs. Who knows? But I'm going to give you guys the name, and you tell me how you feel about it. I'm going to go around the room, and we're going to talk about these guys. The first name is Khalil Ware. Mars. What will he be?
The floor. It's weird because they both played for Miami. The floor is Hassan Whiteside.
With 3-point shooting?
If his floor is his true floor, then he won't be much of a shooter. He'll be someone who'll take him, but he won't make him at a good clip. But yeah, he'll be modern day Hassan Whiteside, extended range in terms of willingness. But that's what the floor is, in my opinion. Ceiling, Ceiling is tough. I don't have a player comp for his ceiling, but like just a very, very strong starting big man, starting five. Not an all-star, but like just the Brook Lopez tier of bigs, but he's not Brook Lopez. You get what I'm saying? But that's what he would be. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Now, Mars, when you talk about not being an all-star, so let's factor in what the Eastern Conference looks like in terms of big guys, right? Let's factor in what the Eastern Conference looks like in terms of 5 men. So who are the class of the fives in the Eastern Conference? Joel Embiid. Bam. That's it. Like Claxton, Jared Allen, like guys like that. So I look at where
Evan Mobley, yeah.
He got him out. I think Mobley's a 4, but that's different. But with that being said, so his floor, I don't have a player comparison, Ron, but I think his floor at the least, I think he could be a double-double guy. At the least.
Floor means like if everything goes wrong.
Right. Like if he's garbage. If he's
a double guy, if he's the worst.
If he's I don't know.
I mean, I did take Hassan Whiteside, who was a double guy, but
right.
I mean,
if he's injury prone, I think at the very least he could be a double guy. At the most, I think he could be maybe an 18 to 20 a game elite rim protector. I think he can be that at most. And I think that with that offense that Spo runs, with now running it with Bam at the 4, I think that he could be even better in that because now he's more of a pick and dive guy, more of a lob threat, especially getting him out in transition. I think that once Miami shows up that lead guard spot, Ox, do not say Terry Rozier, relax. Once they shore up that lead guard spot, I think that's going to make him a lot better. But his floor, I think he's a double guy at minimum.
When I say Hassan Whiteside, I don't mean in terms of box score numbers, 17 and 14 and 3 blocks. So I mean in terms of very bad feel for the game, block chaser, questionable motor, and can become borderline unplayable on good teams because of all of those issues I'm outlining. So when I say Hassan Whiteside, that's what I mean. That type of player. I don't care about the numbers.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the second time Hassan Whiteside has had a segment devoted to him.
Yes, rightfully so, because he is the epitome of the box score is lying.
I think you're just trying to get it. I caught your take the other day where you said, to 30, 40 years from now, people are going to look back. I think you're just trying to get ahead of that. Just remind everyone he's trash right now.
Yes. I wanted to if this is still on YouTube 20 years from now, and someone's like, Hassan Whiteside was underrated, I need someone to link them to this point of this video. He was not good. He was a bad player. But please, I'm not trying to hear that when I'm Chill's age. I'm not trying to hear that.
All right, the next player I got for you guys, Ox.
Hold on, wait. I ain't get to say about real well.
Ox ain't get to go back hello.
I'm gonna give you guys individual players. We don't got time to do.
Oh, so because Ron wanted to argue about Russ for an hour, now we don't have time.
We don't have time.
2 words. Quick. Just floor ceiling. Just quick.
All right, go ahead.
I promise I'll be quick. Ox, you want to go first?
No, go ahead because I didn't really have a floor ceiling type thing. So go ahead. I'll wait for the
4 out of the league in 4 years, ceiling a more athletic Brook Lopez. It's a big boom bust. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
And we just got a $25 super chat from Dirt TV. Said, gotta ask, I know it's a bit random, but would Tim Duncan have been the #1 pick in the 95 and 96 draft had he come out early? We almost had the whole barbershop fighting over this.
No,
if I recall correctly, he was projected to go #1 in 96 before he
95, no, because he was only a sophomore at Wake Forest. 96, we could have had a conversation.
96, I think he was projected to go 1, and then that's why people were shocked he went back to school, I think. But I wasn't alive. This is just research.
That was going on, Moss. Yes, that was going on.
He would have gone over Joe Smith.
It was very much like, not as a sophomore, he wouldn't have been. No, he would not have been. Joe Smith was clearly the best player in the country that year in 1995. It wasn't a question. But in 96, at the 5, that was with Iverson. At the 5 spot, we were all surprised that he was going back to school because, like, everybody thought that he would have been the #1 pick that year, 100%.
Shout out to Joe Smith, by the way. I mean, most famous for ruining the Timberwolves' future, but shout out to him.
Yeah.
All right, the next player I got, Ox, I called on you. It's Alex Sarr.
Oh, you like Alex Sarr? Yeah, you like him.
So it's that's the thing. I initially, when he was in Australia, mind you, I admitted I didn't watch as much as I think maybe you and Damo watched him, Mars. But when I watched him, I was like, man, the kid, I thought he was kind of soft. Like I didn't like how he wasn't really going at the rim much. And then I'm kind of changing my mind on Alex Sarr. Like I think Alex might. Yeah, I think somebody got hurt back there. That'll be all right.
Mhm.
I think he's going to be pretty good this year, especially with the big fella being there. Hold on, let somebody else go around. Somebody.
He got daddy duties.
Got business to attend to.
I gotta go ahead and do that.
I think I'm not a fan. I have never been a fan of Alex Sarr. I had him 6th on my big board, and I had him as low as 10.
What are you looking at though, Penn? When you say you're not a fan, like what do you see?
He does not read the game very well. He does not strike me as a high motor guy. I like high motor bigs in general, right? The theory of him, when he's moving on the pick and roll and he's covering, a guard, it's very enticing, right? But it's all theoretical, right? So to me, it's a little bit like the Khalil Ware situation, right? But Khalil Ware had a really bad PR rep, right? He got all the motor stuff, and then he slid down the draft. But in theory, is Khalil Ware not a better player than Alex Sarr right now?
Right now,
you just take
miles better.
Exactly.
Right now, yeah. Alex Sarr was
exactly. And so Alex Sarr's theoretical upside defensively, a lot of people say, oh, he could be Jaren Jackson Jr. or whatever. But I watched Jaren Jackson, and I had no toughness and motor questions about Jaren Jackson. So I just think, and it add fuel to the fire. He ends up on the Wizards, which is not a place that I want any.
That's where he
to be going. Well, I mean, and that to me
that's
itself is questionable as well, right? Is like, why do you want to go there, right? You want to go there because you want minutes, right? I get that, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's good that a young player wants to play right away. He don't want to be buried behind Clint Capella and Jalen Johnson and all those guys on a team that's desperately looking to win next year because the Atlanta Hawks don't have their pick. So maybe you think about it from his agent perspective, is like, I don't like where people say, oh, this guy pushed his way here or there. No, his agent pushed him away from Atlanta because people don't want to go to a place where young players are being mishandled, right? So I get it. I'm not holding it against him that he wanted to go to the Wizards. I do question it though. Why, if you could push yourself anywhere, why push yourself to the Wizards right now? And, just again, young kid, impressionable, right? Coming into a situation. I just haven't been that high on him. I think the ceiling maybe is a poor man's Evan Mobley. That's a very unlikely outcome, though. A very unlikely outcome.
I think he's going to be an elite defender, to be honest with you. I do.
Well, Evan Mobley just finished in his second year, finished top 3 defensive player of the year. He is an elite defender.
Yeah, he was second.
So that's not comparing him to a scrub when I say that he could be that great. And I'm not looking at this 0 for 15 summer league thing. I am, however, looking at how he missed those shots, because that to me is very important. You're in summer league. You're 2nd overall pick. You can't be this sorry. Right, you can't be contested on every shot.
Right,
you got no space. You're not creating space with that burst. That to me is a motor question. That's an intelligent question, right? So again, he didn't dominate at the previous level, but people bought themselves on the hype. I think a lot of people think he looks like a top pick. Go through the history of the number 2 pick. Just go down and to anyone out there who wants to Google it, just go Google it. Darko Milicic, Marvin Bagley, James Wiseman. Go through it. People psych themselves up into size at the top of the draft. It's something we're used to. Shaq, Antonio McDyess, Joe Smith. We're just used to seeing bigs at the top of the draft. So when people are confused, they're like, oh, this Alex Sarr guy, he looks more like a number 2 pick than this Reed Shepherd guy or this Stephon Castle guy. But 10 years from now, come back to this. It will be a mistake.
All right,
and the floor is out the league?
Floor is 10-year journeyman.
Okay.
The next guy I got for y'all is Stephon Castle. Chill, I'm going to start with you.
I just like I like how hard he plays. That's number one. And the big guard that he is, I didn't realize he was 6'5". I didn't know he was that big. So that really helps because that enhances his versatility. We could put him at the 2, we could put him at the 1, we can even put him at the small, right? We can do that. I think that his passing, playing behind Chris Paul, is going to increase. I think his IQ is going to get better. I think his ceiling, I think he could be maybe as good as Chauncey Billups one day. I think he could be that good.
Wow.
But his floor, he could be a journeyman that's out the league in 5 years. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm thinking about how much better he's going to get playing behind Chris Paul and learning the game playing behind Chris Paul. The fact that I don't think you can put a price tag on playing behind somebody that's been in the league that long, not only been in the league that long, but knows the game like him and is willing to teach you the game. I don't know if I'm not sure that there's a better him, like the same situation that who am I thinking about that's playing behind Mike Conley?
Rob
Dillingham. The same situation that he's in. I don't think you can put a price tag on that. You can't.
Mars, how you feeling about Stephon Castle?
Okay, my ceiling isn't gonna make sense, but it makes sense in my head. So I apologize. It's not gonna make sense. But I think Stephon Castle's ceiling is how good I think Dyson Daniels can be. So I don't have a player comparison or whatever, but how high regard I hold Dyson Daniels, I think Stephon Castle can be that in terms of that archetype of player.
Talk to us about a little bit about what that looks like.
It's like, because I didn't think Stephon Castle would be able to be a point guard. That was my concern. He showed me more in summer league that okay, maybe there is something there, but just in terms of extremely high level defender, 1 through 3, very smart team guy, understands where to cut, how to cut. Dyson Daniels has better touch around the rim in terms of that floater game and stuff like that, but understanding where to be, when to cut, a lot of that is because of UConn and their off-ball action, which is immaculate, by the way. And then being a very strong connective passer, understanding how to move the ball in advantage situations, all of those things. That the feel for the game is very high. The issue I had with him was, can he be a lead ball handler, and is he too much of a reluctant shooter? Now, in the summer league, he wasn't much of a reluctant shooter. Now, he's not a good shooter, but I already expected that. But the willingness is something that intrigued me. So if he can become a good shooter, then I think you've got all defensive guard level potential who's still a positive on offense. I don't have a player for that, but that's how I view them. And then floor is, he's not going to be a guard. He's going to be a 2-3. Like, he's going to be a wing. He'll be a wing because he can't be a point guard. And he'll be a defensive. He'll be like Josh Green if Josh Green was good on defense. That's what I would call him. If
a better Josh Green,
like in terms of his role, I'd call him.
Okay.
I don't know.
I got a hot take for this. I'm gonna put it floor. Rich man's Dante Exum. Okay.
I was on the right team, wrong player. Dante Exum makes a lot more sense.
Right. Ceiling, poor man Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Huh?
I'm not mad at that.
I don't see that.
That's why I said poor man's. Look, when Shai went 12th, no one saw that with him either. I like him in San Antonio. They have a propensity for developing guards. He is going to be a guard. I don't think he's going to be a wing. He is positionally versatile as a defender. I love his attitude. I love his mindset for the game. I think he's a winner. I think he's a winning player, and he's going to be playing with Wemby. So he is going to have a more defensively oriented trajectory than Shai, perhaps. But Shai's a pretty good defender. People don't give him enough credit for that.
Very good playmaker.
Yeah, so I could see like a poor man Shai, and I'm not saying he's going to be a top 5 MVP or anything like that. But if you tell me,
understand what poor man means. It's a lesser version of that.
Yes,
those
so
things are not the same thing.
I'd see like if Shai is a top 5 player in the league right now,
right,
or top 6 player for most people, I would say Stephon at his peak would be a top 25 player. So that's what I mean by that.
So it's not a play style comparison.
No, it's more of an impact comparison at the position, right? So he's not as much of a creator right now off the dribble, and so maybe that's harder to project out, and maybe that was more Shai's game at that time. but just athletically, sort of the position, the overall level of impact. Maybe it's more of a Derek White, a bigger Derek White type of situation, right? Like a bigger Derek White, because Derek White also didn't come in as some great shooter, but a bigger Derek White is probably a less sexy way of saying a poor man Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just a less initiating
version. Some Lonzo in him. I can see some Lonzo and stuff on Castle.
I like the way he was scoring though. In the mid range, like when you said Shai, that's immediately what I went to. I was impressed by the way he was getting to his pull up shots in the summer league. I was impressed by some of the step backs he was creating and stuff like that. That's very Shai Gilgeous-like. They both have similar frames in terms of size and whatnot. I trust San
Antonio. I trust San Antonio.
I'm really not mad at that at all. If he continues to build on what I've seen from him in the mid range, and on top of that, he's a little more explosive than Shai too. So,
Mars, I want to double back real quick. I think we can dead the Euro tag of guys being soft in the Euro, and I think that's one of the main reasons why guys who come in from Europe get that tag. And I feel like Sarr is one of those guys that you can toughen him up. I feel like he's one of those guys that it's there. Just watching him around the rim, just watching him rim protect. I feel like, getting around some guys that can toughen him up. I think that quote unquote soft, it's more of a kid. It's more of a kid being young type of thing. I think that's the thing more than anything. I feel like when he matures, I feel like he can get tougher as opposed to a guy. I've seen soft guys, right? I've seen soft guys, and I know a soft guy when I see one, and I don't think that you could change that. I think Sarr, on the other hand, I think we could toughen him up, though.
I see Jaren Jackson at his ceiling. That's what Penn alluded to it, that if everything goes right, I see Jaren Jackson.
I think like Wemby is a guy that some people, maybe assumed was soft because he's coming over from France and he's so well-spoken and he's so eloquent, but nothing soft about his game at all. He'd be a string bean out there at 16, 17 years old, but he's never soft. Bilal Coulibaly is not soft. And I don't think anyone's calling him soft, right? So I think this old school Euros are soft thing, I hope it's going away soon.
I think
right?
it is.
But I think more often it usually applies to white European players.
Right.
No one talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo being soft, right? It's Jokic and Lukas of the world, right? And Luka's tough as hell. So I'm not sure that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean,
Joker is with all the smoke. Joker ain't with some of it or most of it. Joker is with all the smoke. There ain't nothing soft about Joker. Joker will meet you outside.
But he's been that way since he was 16, 17 years old. He's always been that way, right? So I'm just saying, like, I mean, if you don't like contact as a young player, if you don't invite contact, as in you don't go up strong, you don't go into two defenders, you kind of shy away, you're always finesse. I don't know how that changes. That to me is like it's not something that I've seen change very often, but maybe it can for him. Well, I hope he gets good coaching in Washington.
That's the thing though, Penn. It has to change because that's the game. Like if I'm used to playing a certain way, like you just said, when he was in the French league last year, him being not one of the better players. Where was it, Mars?
Australian
league. I'm sorry. Him being not one of the better players. If I'm going to stick here, I'm going to have to toughen up. I'm going to have to. I can't just stay the way I was because one, it's a different brand of basketball, and I'm going to have to be a different player. So if I'm going to be that, then I got to toughen up. That's one of the parts of me being able to stick here. So
I think he's pretty finesse, man. Like I seen this guy go 0 for 15 in the summer league, and not to harp on that 0 for 15, but I saw a lot of settling. There was a lot of
finesse big man.
Who?
David Robinson was a finesse big man.
Yeah, but he wasn't soft. Big man. Right. Okay, but those guys aren't soft. Those guys aren't. They're finesse in the sense that they are light on their feet and they are skilled. Right. But that's not the same thing as soft. Soft is you shying away from contact. You have a driving lane and you don't want to go to the foul line because you don't want to get hit. So now you're settling for jumpers, right? I don't like players who settle. Like he settles a lot.
I think that's gonna change with him. It has to.
Yeah, but everyone always chalks it up to age and physicality or whatever. But to me, is like if you're young and you don't go to the rim, you don't. And again, he was playing at lesser athletes, man. Australia is not full of the NBL is not full of some great athletes. Okay, there's a lot of slower footed guys. you could say he's not physically developed enough to be dominating over there. He should have been better, etc. There's a lot of good young players who struggle over there, though. A lot. So I'm not going to hold that against him. And he's a big too, so that matters too. But my read on him the last 2 years has been I don't like his toughness, and that's not something I want to be questioning with the number 2 overall pick.
Yo, y'all be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and also become a member while you at it too. And if you got to choose between tiers and you're in a limbo, just choose the Hall of Fame tier. No need to even play. Shoot yourself to the top. Shout out to everybody that sent through super chats. Couple things. Next Wednesday, PCL will start. Y'all see it right here at the bottom. July 24th. You will get to see your favorite panelists from Player's Choice debate against your other favorite panelists from Player's Choice. And it will be some new faces as well. So y'all be tuned into that. Stay on your toes because it's going to be something crazy. I can't wait for it. Also, go to playerschoicemerch.com and check out some of our good merch. Get yourself something. Do yourself a favor. Treat yourself. I do got a few super chats, so we're going to go ahead and dive into these. Appreciate everybody that's been in here from the beginning to this moment right now. Stick around for the next 30 minutes. It's only going to get better. ZKJ said Jokic was definitely a volume shooter last playoffs when he finally played against a 3-big rotation. He was gassed, chucking up threes in Game 7. One-way slob.
Easy. Let's chill out on the one-way slob. Let's chill out on that. That's just no, Ox. Let's not. No.
Yo, that's crazy.
Jokic does play defense. Can we at least admit that he does play defense? I might not be that good at it, but I still do it. He's not.
Who's a better defender, him or DeMontis?
Him. By far.
Which one got a defensive player of the year?
Who did he get that vote from, Mars?
Do that, Mars.
That's the only reason you brought it out, because it's not close.
That's not the only reason I brought it up.
Then you just biased. I mean, prejudice. I mean, whatever you want to call it.
Jokic slipped last year defensively, but the year they won the championship, he participated very well defensively in a way that I have never seen Domantas Sabonis in my life participate. And I like Domantas Sabonis. Just to put that
Ox, you fight that, Ox? That's a fact, actually.
Absolutely, I do.
Yo, it's Mr. GQ to you said, yo, Swiper was frying Chilltown yesterday. Why y'all leave him on an island like that? He cooked them. Hemi Butler versus Drew Holiday style. Shaking my head.
Is that about the Jokic Wilt thing?
Hold on, chill. Let me get this.
Sure.
Just because Ron was letting Swiper yell and holler every time Chill spoke does not mean he was getting fried. Swiper came up here with that birthday vibe, just feeling himself and just screaming over the top of Chill. There was no cooking going on. I'm like, yo, Ron, why you letting this happen? See, me, I wouldn't have stood for that, Chill. I'd have sat Swiper ass down, like, relax.
It's going to be a day. And we're going to see about it. We definitely going to see. And for the record, the chat said that Chill was cooking Swiper. So that's just the wrong.
Just because so we're clear. Just because you talk loud does not mean you're right. Just because you're yelling does not mean that you're right. So
yes,
there we have it.
He actually was yelling because he was getting cooked.
So
also, if you're a fool,
not in every case,
you can't even tell who's winning an argument.
Right, because I'm yelling at Mars. Everything Mars says, I'm just yelling over the top of Mars, and I won't let Mars talk. That does not mean that I'm doing that.
7 gram swish said Jordan McLaughlin is the worst player in the league.
Damn.
Why are we hating on J-Mac? How's J-Mac the worst player in the league?
Not even close.
Like James.
I mean, close, but not really.
It's Johnny Davis, man. It's Johnny Davis. We gonna lock in though.
That's your man, Mars. By the way,
we turning it around.
Okay.
Y'all need to have a new show, Johnny versus Bronny, and just literally have the stats compared next to each other.
Penn,
0 points.
Penn, you are wow with that. There aren't 1,000 players. There's 1,000 players better than Bronny James. You wow for that.
I'm wild for that.
Well, in the world, I think that.
I mean, if we did a list, I'm sure. Yeah, if we did a list,
Do you know how many EuroLeague veterans are super good at basketball, but just can't quite hang with the pace of the NBA. Maybe don't want to come over, right?
You're just talking about as a basketball player alone, just as a not
as a prospect, as a basketball player alone.
I think he is. I won't argue that, Mars.
There's 100 players at minimum between college and NCAA right now. College and high school. There's at least 200 players in international play. There's at least 100 players in the G League. There's at least 100 people probably in prison who you give them 4 months of fresh air and fresh oxygen. There's also a lot of guys who are about 30 years old. You tell me Michael Beasley couldn't cook him right now? Really?
Oh, hey, you ain't going to say Michael Beasley. Michael Beasley is better than NBA players right now.
Okay, so what I'm saying is,
don't forget Alyssa Thomas, Asia Wilson, Jewel Lloyd.
Jesus, maybe. I'm not even getting there.
Don't forget Madison Booker. Don't forget Juju Watson. I'm saying
Juju Watkins is amazing. What I will say though is that y'all need to watch other leagues to talk about other leagues. You can't be telling me Bronny better than blah, blah, blah. If you never watch NBL, if you never watch EuroLeague, if you never watch high school basketball, you never watch AAU, you never watch college, then shut the hell up about it. You never watch G League. Go check out the G League and tell me which players out there are really freaking good. There's a lot of really good players in the G League. Don't cap about the league is so talented right now. There's at least 150 guys in the G League right now that would have made the league clear 15 years ago.
Which, by the way, I'm glad you brought that up, Penn, because we are in the works at Players' Choice that we will be trying to get some EuroLeague games on, like we do with the NBA. How we have watch parties. We're trying to do that this season with the EuroLeague too.
Absolutely, and you should. Dope. And honestly, I don't like looking at the chat, but James B, shut up. Jeez, man. Shut up about Juju Watkins. She's my favorite college player, so shut the hell up. You tell me to shut up about Juju Watkins.
Don't. Yo, Penn. His
Penn,
name
I
is
promise
James
you.
C.
Don't, yo. Don't.
It's C. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But right quick, y'all. Do we really believe that Bronny's this bad?
I don't.
It's not bad. He's 19 years old. He's not supposed to be better than 30-year-olds. He's not supposed to be better than 35-year-olds. He's not supposed to be better than guys in their prime in EuroLeague. Yo, here's a news flash. Alex Sarr probably not one of the top 500 players in the world either. That doesn't mean he's bad. You got to think about NBA. Look, there's a logic to this. Okay, when you come into the league, you're supposed to be bad because you're a rookie. Mm-hmm. They're trying to develop you into someone who's not bad. That's why you get a rookie contract for 4 years. You get to become better. And after 4 years, they determine if you got better, we're going to give you another 4 years, or you go into China. That's how it works. But through those first 4 years, you're not supposed to be great at basketball. You're 19 years old. You're 18 years old. No, an 18-year-old player is not better than Sasha Vezenkov or a EuroLeague vet. You take a guy like Anthony Parker. You think a guy like Anthony Parker, who was over at Maccabi Tel Aviv, came over to the Toronto Raptors. He was an immediate starter. And that guy was not in the NBA. And he was absolutely one of the top 150 players in the world. But he wasn't in the NBA. So the world has only gotten more talented since then. So it's not offensive to say that a guy's not a top 1,000 player at a sport.
That should just sound wild as hell, man.
It sounds crazy. But the thing that I want to say is everyone came at me like, oh, he's a Bronny hater. I'm not a Bronny hater. I am setting the stage so that
beat him one-on-one, Pin.
You did at 62 years old.
I might need to walk that back, but I'm still I'm still like if Jordan could stop, with the cigars for 4 months and just get in the gym, I give him a chance in a one-on-one game. Let's put it that way.
About MJ and LeBron 2016.
What I'm trying to say is, if you look, Bronny James has been hyped to hell. He's been given a lot of attention because of his name. And I don't want people to come in with this expectation that, look how scrutinized he is for a 55th overall pick. When has a 55th overall pick ever had expectations? Never, ever. Right. Yeah. But he had $7 million thinking. And
hey, Ron, enough with this dude already, Ron. Enough with him. I'm sick of this dude. The whole fucking time he came in here and all he doing is talking about me. Nigga, go get a job. Stop smoking weed. Get off your couch. Fat lip ass dude. Go do something with your life. That's all you doing is in here talking about me the whole time. You sucker. Get your bitch ass out of here. I'm sorry, Ron. I apologize. I'm sick of this dude, man. All he does is come in here every day and talk about me. You for real. I'm going to start calling you B. I'm going to start calling you BAN. And you know what it stands for. You know what it stands for. That's you. Ban. That's what I'm gonna start calling
like BAN.
Yes.
Yes.
Capital B, capital A, capital N. That's him. That's him. Sick of this dude.
If you don't know what that means, just ask Jalen. He'll translate it.
Yo,
that's him.
All right. What we gonna do?
Every day he come in here, all he do is talk about me, sucker ass dude. Ban. That's what I'm gonna start.
I got a business appointment.
All right, chill. He's had enough. He gets the point. We all get the point. I do want to say that Team Canada.
Yes, he
plays
is
Team
drunk.
Serbia.
100% he is drunk.
In a
way more than you say he do. Yes,
in an hour and a half. Are we tapped into this game? Penn, you watching this game? Canada versus Serbia?
I am gonna watch that. I am.
Where is it?
They played an hour and a half.
Where we gonna watch it at?
NBA app. If you got the NBA app, if you download the NBA app, you'll be able to watch the game for free.
Shout out to Team USA in London. Shout out to them.
Are they there now?
By the way, it's not Serbia, bro. It's France.
Yeah.
They're playing France.
Oh, I'm tripping. My bad.
Okay.
I got
a good one.
Yeah, I got thrown off by BAN. Okay. All right. Predictions on that game?
Serbia, man.
Wait, who's
France.
I'm sorry. France is small. Man, not France. I'm sorry. Canada's small, so I think France could take advantage of them on the front line. I'm gonna take France.
Got a root for my Frenchman.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take France. Yep.
I hope SGA don't try Evan Fournier the same way Dennis Schroeder did. Get your ass yanked up.
I cannot. I want to say France, but I think Canada has taken too many L's on this show this week already. So I gotta say I'm gonna root for Canada, but I'm very cognizant of how tough it would be to go up against that much size in the paint.
All right. 8 Gates Lee said Denver saw Russ stink it up in the playoffs and said that's the answer to our problems.
They think he fits better in what they do. I mean, I also told you guys act like Jokic don't care about his legacy.
Don't say Mars. Don't say they. Okay, he was.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Jokic is trying to prove that hey, KD couldn't do it, LeBron couldn't do it, but I can do it. That's what he's trying to do. I see through his little. I don't care. He cares. He's trying to prove that he's better than LeBron. I see it.
He's trying to have Russ scapegoat. He's trying to have him scapegoat.
Yeah, and then if it doesn't work, of course, yeah.
Locked In said Russ may be better than D'Lo and Reggie, but doesn't mean he is a better fit for the team. Russ is self-check at this point, especially in the playoffs. Jacko VX said I can't have Ox not seeing it play for. I can't have Ox not seeing it play for Russ, but the moment he likes something that doesn't work for most people, coaches will figure it out.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, is this not a time when it's just coach got a coach when it comes to making Russ fit?
Not with Russell Westbrook. Okay, there are some instances
where coach.
Mike Malone is a hell of a coach. Don't get me wrong, but this is just different.
I guarantee you, it's gonna look a little better than you think it is.
You got it. I mean, it's gonna be hard to work. It's just gonna be hard. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see how this really helps Denver at all. I don't see.
Well, the thing about it is, it was gonna be hard either way it goes. Outside of their top four,
like now, what is he doing? He's just here to take up some of Christian Brown's minutes. Like, let these young guys develop and get better. Get Russ out their way. You know what's gonna happen, Chill? They're gonna ruin these guys.
Oh boy!
Who? They're gonna ruin Julian Strawther.
Julian Strawther.
Why can't Julian learn from a vet like Russ? I mean, Russ ain't never had no problem.
Nobody nothing.
Really, Russ ain't never had no problems with no teammates. I never heard any bad thing. I never heard anybody have bad things to say on teams about Russ when he was in Oklahoma City. Even KD leaving him, he ain't had nothing bad to say about Russ. Not once did I attack Russell Westbrook's character. Never once did I say anything about him personally. It's just on the court stuff. I just think he's a terrible, great player. Is it that? Oh my God!
That needs to be a T-shirt. That needs to be a T-shirt. He's a terrible, great player.
You're a fine, ugly chick. That's what you are.
I'm saying, like, he is a really, really. I've always thought Russell Westbrook was a great basketball player. He got the mindset. He's just not necessarily a winning basketball player. That's all. And like
yeah.
Russ, one of them dudes were like, I would love to play. I would love if Russ was my teammate. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be great. I can tell Russ is a good teammate, but like we're not gonna win with him playing major minutes, especially not now. Like maybe the old Russ, but not now. No way.
Grimjaw649 said Russ has been a liability since Houston. Should have retired before he joined the Clippers, to be honest. Why there's any faith with such a large and shit sample?
He actually wasn't bad with the Clippers. He really wasn't. He was actually good with the Clippers. If Leonard could have held up, I think we could have had a different outlook on Russ had Kawhi Leonard been able to hold up, because he was damn good in that series. He was.
Alan L said, "Don't say Stockton, because then Low gonna pull up. L will take."
Hey Ron, did Alan L even fill out a PCL application?
Unless his name's not really Alan L. No.
Damn, he dug the Oxfade. That's crazy.
Sounds about right.
Kafifi Dotard BLM said Westbrook about to make the Nuggets a playing team.
That's how Houston gonna get in the top 5.
At least Alan L sends in super chats though. You know what I'm saying?
He does do that. He don't just yap for free.
He's a worthy troll. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
you know?
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of which,
for free,
Alan L just sent through a super chat, and he said Jokic is going to be either the best or second best passer of this decade, and we are putting him in Wilt convos.
Yep.
I'm so thick.
It's not a Wilt convo. It's Chill just being a contrarian. That's all it is.
Contrarian takes are great.
Yeah, I mean it
makes us think, right?
Time.
Now I'm sure a lot more people think about, Wilt Chamberlain's passing. It's a good thing to go on the extreme. It's good to walk it back sometimes.
I think about his passing, they're gonna look at his Basketball Reference and see how many assists he averaged. But I mean, close enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
but watch.
There's box score watches again.
Yeah, I mean that's as close as you're gonna get when it comes to anything about the 60s. So I guess
the box score watches again.
Got a new member, my man Dirt TV. Y'all seen him send through a super chat. Big shout out to Dirt TV. Thanks for sending through that $25 super chat too.
Appreciate you, brother. No doubt.
Also, Jalen Leak sent through $1.
Thanks,
Shout out
brother.
to Jalen Leak.
Put that pill with a cup of coffee.
Big said, how y'all let Swiper get away with saying Jokic invented Ted the short roll lob when he meant to say Draymond been doing this his whole career? He sent through a follow-up super chat. He said, how y'all let Swiper get away with saying Jokic invented the short roll lob? Draymond been doing it his whole career. Top tier glaze.
No, he wasn't talking about short roll lobs. He was talking about when Jokic is in the middle of the floor and it looks like he's going to do a hook shot or a push shot and then he lobs it, not the Draymond 4-on-3 Kuminga lob or Iguodala lob. It's a different play, same area of the floor, but that's what he was talking about.
They came into the league like 2 years apart. Why are we talking about Draymond like he's Dennis Rodman's era? Like, to me, they're part of the same era.
3 years apart, I think, was their rookie years. Yeah, but Jokic got drafted but stayed a year overseas. So he came in 15, 16. So,
but he was still doing this over in Serbia. He's been doing this since he was a kid.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. Okay.
It's Mr. GQ to you said, after the circus we seen in Ox's courtroom the other night, Ox shouldn't be allowed to call you L host, Ron.
Man, Mr.
Ox, you can go to circus.
Nah, bro. First of all, Ron, take me off the big screen. But nah, bro. Nah, that wasn't no circus, man. That wasn't. I don't run no kangaroo court. I did what I did and was perfectly structured. And then I'm like, this is, let me let everybody in here. But Mr. GQ ain't never been to the graveyard shift, so he don't know about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he not tapped in for real.
Yeah, you got to be a gorilla to survive in the jungle. And I don't think Mr. GQ can hang. You know what I'm saying?
I really
it be like that sometimes.
What you did.
It's like that sometimes.
I good looking for that pin. I didn't even know you tapped in, bro. And shout out to you, Mars, for pulling up. That's what's up.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Anytime.
Yeah, I watched it on replay afterwards. I was just like, good for you for thinking beyond the obvious, right? Doing all that research and all that stuff. Like it shows me that you're like a very growth-minded and positive person, and that's amazing. I disagree with you fundamentally, but I love where you're coming from. So it's great.
Thank you.
I disagree with you, Ox. And Penn, I disagree with you too. He's not that type of person.
Wow.
It's a facade for the internet.
To slander me in front of you, all these people, is crazy.
Ox, you slandering yourself with that lumberjack shirt.
Hey,
This is self-made.
that shit look comfortable.
This is self-made and it fits me like a glove.
I was just about to say, Ox, it look mad comfortable too.
Thank you.
It does look mad comfortable.
All right. Speaking of which, Brack said, "Allow me to translate that. He who we shall not speak on."
Man's getting Voldemort treatment right now.
Jeez. That HR me ain't gonna be elite on Monday, man.
B Bell just sent through the shocked eye emojis. My man Liban Glued said Jordan Miller looked good for a 48 pick.
He got drafted last year, right?
Have you seen my man Enrique Freeman, Mars?
I've been watching the Pacers way more for Jarris Walker, but Enrique Freeman's been out there while I've been waiting to push my Jarris Walker propaganda. Yes, I mean he nice. I don't know how much he's gonna play this year.
I don't think he's gonna play
but
much this season, to be honest.
If he's above James Wiseman in the rotation, I wouldn't be shocked.
Jarris Walker's a really good player.
You don't know how high I was on Jarris Walker pre-draft. I was pushing the Jarris Walker propaganda.
I mean, I had him top 6 on my board. I like him a lot. I think he's fantastic. He looked really good in the G League last year. He's a really good player. He's going to be fine.
His shot creation is better than I thought it would be, though. But hey, I'm here for it.
Masink OG said Ron crashing out over Russ is a guarantee.
It don't take y'all talk about me. It don't take much to turn Ron up. Talk about Russ a little bit, right? Talk about Russ a little bit and say something wild about Tyrese Halliburton, and you will turn Ron volume all the way up to 10. Okay, it don't take much to turn Ron up. It does.
I like that Ron doesn't discriminate because Russ and Tyrese Halliburton are such
close.
Different ends of the spectrum. So I love that Ron doesn't discriminate who he likes.
Ron likes big guards.
Just a crybaby.
Did you like Jason Kidd as well?
What?
Did you like Jason Kidd?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, great.
Like Jason Kidd.
Some people didn't like Jason Kidd.
Who was it that called Jason Kidd a light-skinned Ricky Rubio?
Mustard.
That was Mustard. I never forgave him for that.
I swear that episode took years off my life.
But I mean, if you think about it.
So you might think Ron is biased towards big guards. So am I. That's funny.
Hell
but
no,
then
we're not doing that.
He be hating on James Harden, but it's cool.
Yo, dude said Ron likes big guards when he cannot lie. Bro, I fucking love this chat, bro. I swear to God.
I'm not paying that no mind. Demon Dream 91 said Drew Holiday over Russ. Don't care about counting stats.
Well, yeah, in 2024, I mean, yeah.
Let me guess, Doc. That's not crazy.
El Master.
I mean, today is
actually no. I was gonna say all time.
No, we ain't doing that.
He gonna say any version of it.
No.
Overall, Russ reached the peak that Drew never reached. And like we cannot debate that. We cannot debate that.
Right.
But me personally, because I'm trying to look at it from maybe not a fan standpoint. Let's look at it from let's put our coaching hats on. I'd much rather coach Drew Holiday.
Me too.
If I'm trying to win a championship, and that's all. That's typically how I try to judge players. Is if I'm coaching, which player do I want if I'm trying to win a championship? And I think I comfortably want Drew.
Is it fair to say, Ox, that maybe if you got with Russ, you could put a different bug in his ear? I'm talking about younger Russ. You could slow him down, or not necessarily slow him down. He can play the game in a more controlled way for you. You can still let him. He's still that wild horse that you let out, but you have to have him in certain situations. You could coach him, and when we're in a more controlled atmosphere, like
that's one of them things. Chill. I think coaches like. I think Russ is just who he is. He got that mindset, and I think this is one of them times where you could ruin a guy like Russ if you try to make him do something. Like I think Russ is just who he is, and I think and I don't want to knock him for being who he is. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I love, like I said, I like Russell Westbrook. I would love to play with Russell Westbrook. I would love to coach Russell Westbrook, but it's just like You know, sometimes you got to sit him down. I think, you know,
which is fair. Is it the stubbornness? Because Russ can be very stubborn. Russ is that guy who, we can walk around this wall. Like we could get over the top of this wall. How about you use this rope? Russ is the guy who I'm gonna keep banging my head on this wall until this wall falls over.
But that's also why he's so great.
There's some people that are uncoachable because they're just jerks and they don't want to be coached. They think they know everything. And then there's some guys that are uncoachable because they just boom, they trying to run through that wall. And I think Russ is one of those type of guys. I think that's similar to maybe like a guy like Kobe Bryant, where Kobe Bryant might have been like, okay, Kobe might have been uncoachable just because this is how I do shit. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know,
I don't think Bryant was uncoachable though. I don't.
Well, I don't mean uncoachable.
I think you're using that as an example. I get that. Right.
I got a 1 minute request, Ron. Can we please do a floor ceiling on Reed Shepherd before we leave?
We're gonna have to do it the next time you pull up, my man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Come
through Tuesday.
Also, did y'all talk about it yesterday, Ron?
Damian Lillard.
Did y'all talk?
Nah,
that yesterday, Ron. I'm asking, did y'all talk about how the Connecticut Sun might have just secured himself a championship?
Well, with Marina,
they just traded for her.
Yeah, Marina Mabry on the Connecticut Sun. I think that might do it.
Yeah, well,
you think they better than New York?
No.
Yeah, I think that put them there. Like now they can compete with New York and Las Vegas.
I worry about DeWanna Bonner when the game get physical. We could rough her up. I do.
Somebody over there that you can't rough up though.
She's gonna stretch you out though.
Yeah, she is. She stretches the defense with the best of them. I won't argue that.
You might rough her up, but hey, Alyssa gonna rough up all 5 of the other players that's on the floor.
And don't forget Breezy. She out there too.
Yeah. Cameron just sent through a super chat. He said, where does everyone rank Brunson in the league today? This is our final super chat. This will be our final question and segment. Where do you guys rank Brunson?
He in my top 50.
5-0 or 15, Mars? 1-5.
He in my top 50. 5-0.
Okay, so 5-0.
Yeah.
Who?
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. And like players today?
Yeah.
He's a top 20 player for sure.
I think so.
Me too.
I don't know if I can name 20 guys better than him.
I say top 25. Just to be safe.
So you'll go in the top 50.
Yeah.
But he's
top 100, top 1,000.
He's closer to the top. He's closer to the top 10 than he is 50, Mars. How about that?
There's some people who think he's top 10. There's some people who think he's definitively top 10. I think that comes down to usage, though. A lot of it.
Yeah.
Basically, what you do is wherever you have Tyrese Halliburton, you put Jalen Brunson right behind that.
Oh, so he might not be top 50 then. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Open Gym is next. Like this video on the way out. Like Open Gym on the way in. And spam L host. Not on this video, on the next video. We'll catch y'all later. Won't be here Monday, but we will be here Tuesday.
Later.
Chill on Saturday, Ron.
Yes, sir. Are you just gonna forget us?
Yeah, that's crazy. From the logo on Sunday. Y'all be sure to tap in from the logo.
2-person show?
3.
3.
4. Maybe Dub comes back.
I checked in. Canada fucks with show. There we go.
Thank you.
All right.
Later.
See you, man.